Good morning. It is 7 a.m. on Monday, October 16th. In Baton Rouge, expect clear skies with a high of 71. Coming up on OTB, weekend winners at 8, right, wrong, and indifferent, and more. You can follow the show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN or watch on the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Hour 1 of OTB, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's going on, everyone? Hope you are enjoying this beautiful fall morning, October 16th, and we got a brand new Monday OTB coming at you where we get to react to an entire weekend of football this week. A lot of good on Saturday with your LSU Tigers and a lot of blah on Sunday with your New Orleans Saints. Yeah. I mean, you ain't lying, dude. Staying awake during the Saints' third quarter is just a masterclass of discipline at this point. It's unreal. I can't do it. I fall asleep every time. It happened again this week. So, look, we're going to break it all down. As always, we'll do our LSU film review here in the first hour, weekend winners, Saints film review, and then, like we said, right, wrong, or indifferent, spread lines with our guy, Hold the Mayo. And, there's a ton of NFL and college football stuff to get to, especially Washington shining, Notre Dame getting Marcus Freeman his first real big win for the Irish, the Colorado Friday night debacle, which is unlike anything I've ever seen, and I don't believe that to be an exaggeration. There's a lot to get to on Off the Bench. But here in this first segment, for our opening salvo, I want to remind you to check out Baton Rouge's newest, most fun attraction. I'm talking about Skull Axe Throwing, baby. That's right. Just opened up a new location off of Lee, right near Mike Anderson. They got over 10,000 square feet, 32 targets to throw at. You want some beer, some food, some snacks, date night, family night, whatever. You want to bring an office event, maybe just a girls' night. You want to go to Skull Axe Throwing. Go to the website, gcaxe.com. All right, let's get in to this film review. Jake, this was, normally get done with these things, I might have like 6 pages of notes, 7 pages of notes. I think I topped out at 3 this game, and it's just because it was so solid on so many fronts that there wasn't a ton to critique or to pick at, and it wasn't even like last week where it was still a tense game, and we talked about some of the big like combinations and situations that LSU was able to overcome, and they showed toughness here, getting this stop to start the second half and then take over. Right. No, this game was pretty much just an ass beating from beginning to end, and between this and Mississippi State, just choose your most complimentary football game of the year.
I mean, you open up the game with like a 4-play touchdown drive, and you take the ball, and you're like, okay, this is what it's going to be for LSU's offense. What's it going to be for LSU's defense? Because we know the offense can do this. Well, they get off the field in 5 plays. So, like, even within the first 2 series, like, okay, this is exactly the blueprint that we need to see in this game. We talked about it. We want this game to be boring on Friday, and, well, it was in a good way. It was in a very good way. I thought the defense did a lot of things better, and I know we'll get into it as we kind of dive back into the tape. I thought the zone coverage was better. I thought you had more short tackling than you've had. Is this a good offense? Absolutely not. Talking about Auburn's offense. It's not, but you needed this game. You need this game. You need some momentum as you go into the kind of the thickness of that schedule that we've talked about. So everything that you wanted to do in this game, you ran the football highly effective. All right. I mean, coming out from the very get-go, Logan Diggs is hitting a big hitter on that first drive. Jaden Daniels continues to be Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors continues to make plays. The offensive line continues to play really, really well. Even with Emory Jones going down, right, Lance Hurd, I think he had one situation where they brought sub pressure and he didn't fan out. Other than that, I thought he had a pretty solid game.
Yeah, and I don't even know if that was on.
I don't either.
The time when Jaden got, because the whole line slid left.
Line slid left. Yeah.
And so I think that was just a bad pass protection identification, or whether quarterback or Turner, I don't know who's making that call, but everybody seemed a little off. No, it was, look, the offensive line's hard to talk about just because they are so consistently good that there's just, like, what do you say? What do you quibble at? Like, there's a reason why the rushing attacks having so much success, and it's because every single time the line of scrimmage is getting reset 2 to 3 yards downfield, and it's just, I guess I don't know what to say to that. Look, that was a good Auburn defensive front. Like I said, going into the game, the one thing that worried me about this was Auburn was very good in the trenches, right? And we've seen this LSU D-line really struggle against, bad O-lines, in my opinion, this year. And we've seen this LSU offensive line really struggle in game number 1 against FSU, the other best defensive line that you had faced up to this point. Auburn wasn't even, 52-50. I hyped them up last week. You probably didn't even see him on Saturday. Like, they were never even an issue. The defensive front for Auburn, that front seven, felt like an afterthought this game. Jaden Daniels was given time to just coolly and calmly stand back there and really just do whatever he wanted. And with the form that Jaden Daniels is in right now, if you're going to allow him that kind of time, you're gonna see exactly what you saw the other night. He was perfect again, and it's not just decisions on when to run. It's not just where to go with the ball, but when he's running, how he's running. He had a scramble on the goal line, Jake, that did not score. That was some real, just like high school kid playing in the backyard with the junior high kids energy. It was so simple the way that he was just dodging tacklers left and right, manipulating them, cutting, running around them, and then just barely getting tackled before the end zone. And I got to give our guy Lon Phillips, shout out Lon Phillips, Sullivan, LSU Odyssey. He does great work. Right now, Jaden Daniels has 2,809 total yards. That is first in the country. That is 500 more total yards than Michael Penix, who's currently second.
Yeah.
He has a passing efficiency rating of 197. That is first in the country. He has 22 passing touchdowns after Caleb Williams finally takes a step back. He's only 1 tud behind Williams for the nation's lead. And just passing yards alone, he's number 3 in the country, trailing Shadur Sanders by just 100 yards. And, he's number 3 in the country in yards per game. Again, you can't say enough about what you're seeing out of Jaden Daniels. And remember, we called it on Friday. This was a revenge game. This was an Auburn defense that shut him down last year from 8 of 20 for 80 yards to now another 400 yards, another 4 touchdowns. He just seems to kind of just walk into this kind of stat line.
And he continues to use the entire football field, which becomes so much more impressive than what it was a year ago, because it was impressive a year ago how he played, certainly at times. Was it, the totality of the season? No, but he certainly had more highs than he had lows. But now it is so much more impressive, as I mentioned, because there's not a part of the football field that he's not attacking. Mm-hmm. And this game, how many times did he hit that 15 to 18-yard dig route?
Yeah, right over
throw
the
it right over the linebacker's head and throw it in that window before the receiver even gets there. He's not throwing to where the receiver is, where he's going to be, and has so much confidence in that throw. And a lot of times you don't see that in college football. Like you'll see it in the NFL, certainly on Sundays. You don't see it on Saturdays. And so the confidence that he's playing with right now as well, the decisions that he's making, knowing when to hold on to the football, knowing when to get rid of it, knowing when to run, when to stay in the pocket, right? He's only leaving the pocket this year if he has to.
Yeah.
It's not like last year where you could tell like that's where he was comfortable, so he got out of the pocket, then he made plays. I have no notes, like as far as like things that you need to work on right now he's playing at a higher level at the quarterback position than anybody else in the country. It's like even Michael Penix, who was fantastic on Saturday. I mean, he tore up a really good Oregon defense. He is not playing to the level Jaden Daniels is playing at right now. Like this is special. This is something you do not see very often. This is something that here at this school, with all the great quarterbacks that have played here, we've probably only seen it one other time.
Yeah. And look, make no mistake. I mean, right now he's on pace to throw for 4,000 and rush for 1,000. So I think like Kyler Murray's maybe the only person that ever done that. And obviously, Kyler Murray won a Heisman. Yes, Taylor?
I think Deshaun Watson did it, or he may have been like 3,500 and 1,000. I'll check.
Yeah. Either way, look, if Bill Connolly has his mid-season kind of season in review out today, and this was nice to see because we're all kind of monitoring the Jaden for Heisman stuff. He had him second, 2 Penix. Which, again, of course you are, because it's not saying that, like, and he even says in the article, basically, that it's because of the losses, right? Like that's just how this award works. Right. And so because of that, he's at number 2. Otherwise, he would be number 1.
Even
so
if
all
you
of that
probably didn't have the Ole Miss loss. Probably if you just had the one Florida State loss.
Oh, yeah, you'd be 100%.
Yeah.
I think you'd be first. Well, I mean, look, you just played 5 SEC games in a row.
Yeah.
And you should have been 5-0. You finished 4-1, but it's okay because you still control your own destiny. That's what you have to continuously remind yourself. Ole Miss has to play Georgia and A&M. Now, A&M, who knows those guys. But Georgia, I know Georgia struggled this year. I do not think Ole Miss is going to beat Georgia. And if they don't, well, guess what? Then you control it. Because if you beat Alabama, you got a tiebreaker for them. You beat A&M, you're good to go. You just can't afford another loss in the way that this team's playing right now. At least his offense, they're going to, I don't believe anybody's just going to blow you out. Like it's going to come down to the end in any of these potential games. I'd say one of the craziest parts about Jaden Daniels at this point to me is throws that I never expected him to make in the past. Now when they miss, I'm kind of like shocked. Like there was the early throw on it was just like a post to the back of the end zone with Malik Neighbors, bit of a timing throw coming behind the defense, and he had him. And he almost put it in, but he just put it like a couple of feet behind him. But that's how perfect he's been this year that I was kind of surprised. So there was another one where they brought out all cover 0 blitz, and he throws a fade to Malik in the end zone. And again, we've seen him drop it in the bucket so many times this year. And when he did it, I was like, oh, wow. But last year, it was the opposite. The expectation was that he was probably going to miss the throw, and if he hit it, we would have been impressed. And now he's just, oh, wow, wrong. Somebody mixed up the cough buttons, so that mine's on Jake's side and Jake's on mine. What a troll.
That is a good troll.
Wow.
Leave it like that for, Matt's only got one mic.
But something else before we get out of here, too, in this first segment. Mike Denbrock's doing a hell of a job, man. I was very critical after the Florida State game, right, despite calling his offense a just collection of sounds, whereas that Seminole offense felt like a symphony. Well, this one feels so cohesive now. You see the concepts building off of each other. I love the play design of the first touchdown. Malik goes in jet sweep motion. You have a fake zone read going the other direction. Kyron Lacey runs off the corner on like a go route, then ends up blocking him. Mason Taylor with an excellent lead block ahead of that jet sweep motion. It's just so multiple.
His best game by far.
Mason Taylor played great.
Yeah.
He played great. But I really just believe, I mean, the jet sweep to Caleb Jackson, empty, I thought was a great call. The wheel route to John Emery, where you fake the jet sweep, you pull the center, fake zone read again. You have a tight end. Like even if they pick up Emery on the wheel, you have Mason Taylor doing an interesting kind of delayed drag where he starts blocking, then's coming over. And then it's just, Mike Denbrock's doing great. He's doing great. Just bottom line. And he is writing that symphony, and then there at the middle is the conductor, Jaden Daniels. And that's why you see so much production from so many different players. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 different players catching balls, maybe even more impressively, 6 catching multiple.
Yeah.
This game. Jaden Daniels is using every single inch and blade of grass that field is offering him.
I mean, you had 3 running backs catch a pass, and the starting running back wasn't one of them. I mean, it just kind of gives you an idea of how many people are playing, how many people are contributing to this offense, and to T's point, how many people are getting involved. And I am a huge fan of getting the entire offense involved because every player out there thinks he's live on every single play. And that is important. You might be like, well, shouldn't they always think that? Yeah, you should, but it doesn't always happen. Yeah. Sometimes you're like, man, I'm out here. I'm in the slot. I'm the third receiver. Well, I know the ball's going to 8 or 11, right? Maybe don't run your route. Maybe you run it 90%. Maybe you don't run it the full 100%. So when you get everybody involved and everybody that's in that game plan that's out there on that field thinks, hey, there's a chance I can get the ball. I got to go out there. I got to do it. Or even if you have the belief of, like T-Bob's talking about with the combinations, right? If you're running this, I'm running that, it's opening up that. But you run it to your full ability, and it's just not easy to get those things done sometimes. And all of that sounds like it should always get done. It's just not the case. So when you have an offense that's going like this, they're playing for each other, they're calling the right plays, they're opening up things for each other, they're making the plays when it is their turn as well. Like Josh Williams is a perfect example of this game, right? He only got 3 touches. 2 of them ended in touchdowns.
Well, and again, his receiving touchdown is something to highlight because it's a direct growth point from what we yelled about earlier this season, where he's in pass pro. They're only sending 4, and I mean right away, he sees, okay, no, my guy dropped into coverage. Right away, all he does is leak out and then just turn around.
Yep.
And Jaden's reading. Great protection by the O-line, of course. But nobody's open downfield, and you can feel, these quarterbacks got that internal clock that you always hear about where even if there's not pressure, it's been too long, I got to get rid of the ball. And so Jaden's reading, nothing. Okay, just dump it to Josh. He's right there. That's exactly why you do that. He's the outlet. And they were so worried about Kyron Lacey and Malik Neighbors and all that receiving core that Josh had open field to work with, and then he pushes it into the end zone. I mean, it's exactly what we were yelling about earlier this season, the evolution that we wanted to see out of the running back position in pass pro. Logan Diggs had some beast pass pro in this game.
He did.
There was a safety or a corner coming on one with a full head of steam, and not only did Diggs stonewall him, but he pushed the safety backwards, right? The guy with the 15-yard running head start got immediately shifted backwards. So the offense is just perfect right now. They're clicking on all cylinders.
I don't remember what game it was, but we sat up here and we gave you the running backs pass pro grades, and a lot of it's because they weren't getting out. They were inviting pressure, and it was a real issue. It was a real issue within the offense. This game, they both, Josh Williams and Logan Diggs, both upper 70s as far as pass pro grade. And pass pro is probably the thing PFF grades the hardest.
Yeah.
I usually think so whenever I look at these grades, but they are doing such a good job now of getting out when they're supposed to block. They've always been able to block. It's not been where they're just laying guys, but it was about staying in when you don't have to. Well, like T said, Logan Diggs is stoning people right there. The backs are getting out. Everything right now in this offense is clicking, and you want to continue that. It's almost one of those situations where you're like, do we have to take the bye week?
Yeah,
because offensively you are just
a little cincy. You're just a little cincy about the Braves.
About what?
About the Braves right now.
Oh,
yeah.
I was like, wait, what's this got to do with LSU?
I know, the bye week, guys.
No,
come on.
I'm sensitive because football in my career as well. When you're going, and who was it? Was it the 49ers or somebody was like, same situation. I heard like, man, I don't want a bye week, and then go out there and lose.
All right, let's get to the defense next because, again, last thing, maybe it was great seeing Kyron Lacey have a massive game. 4 for 111, a touchdown. Every time I see Kyron Lacey catch the ball, I am struck by how giant he is. And we do need to talk some Lance Hurd as well coming up. Here, keep it locked right here, 104.5 ESPN. Hit the like button, share with your friends. OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
K to Z window coverings, KTOZ blinds.com. You want some custom blinds, shutters, whatever you need. You want to go to K to Z. Brandon Barton's been doing this his entire adult life. Took over the family business and brought it to the next level. Over 25 years of experience. And you get that free professional estimate, installation as well, and always affordable deals. But look, whether it's a man cave, an outdoor living space, whatever you need, if you're into interior design, your wife, your husband is, send them to K to Z. You get brownie points and your house to get taken to the next level.
Yeah, it is whatever. just like T-Bob said, interior, exterior, and so many different options. Like, I didn't know that there was going to be multiple shades outside, right? If you have a backyard space where the sun's hitting it at a certain angle, right? Well, you get the solar shade. Well, if you don't have that situation and you just need it to keep out bugs, well, they got a shade for that as well. They got so many different colors as well. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought they were going to come in. It's going to be just black. Everything's available. KZBlinds.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Here at Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, we have in stock 2023 Toyota Tundras, and you can get 1,000 special edition bonus cash, $1,000 bonus cash. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
His name was King. He had a horse along the countryside. I saw him ride. One day they found him.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. We'll recap LSU Auburn, Saints Texans. We'll hear from Brian Kelly. Join us for Monday's AFR, 3 to 6, 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. The boys hanging out with you this morning. Let's dive back into our film review. Keep your comments coming in. YouTube.com/1045 ESPN. Hit the like button. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Dane Bergeron says, I got a group of former Delta Force operators coming to the game Saturday. We'll come by Don Juan's after the game.
Oh, nice.
I may have said F the troops during Whiskey and Wine on Saturday. To be clear, that is a football-only F the troops,
Wait.
okay? I just mean the Army football players during the game itself.
They're still cadets. They're still
so F the cadets
going to serve
is
our
acceptable is what you're saying.
No, they're still going to serve our country.
Yeah. Admittedly, maybe not the,
Just maybe you can.
I was getting a little fired up.
Maybe you can just form it like.
I was getting a little fired
the
up.
The football version only.
Yes.
The Army Black Knights.
Exactly. Only on the football field, obviously. But probably I'm not going to say that if there's Delta Force operators there on Saturday.
I want to be in Columbus this weekend. And I want to turn on my phone to Whiskey and Wine, and I want to see you get choked out because you said the wrong thing, and they don't even say a word.
We're gonna pump the brakes on that and avoid that happening this weekend. Shout out to everybody who came out with Whiskey and Wine. How about Carlos Sr. and Carlos Jr. came in from Puerto Rico?
Oh, nice.
To come hang out after the game. It was awesome. And by the way, we should mention that Death Valley was fantastic on Saturday night. You were there, Jake. What was it like being in that stadium?
Oh, it was great. It was old peak Death Valley. It was everybody staying there, even in the blowout, right? And it was. I mean, in that game, you could kind of feel the way it was going to go. But the crowd stayed. The crowd was great. The student section's been great all season long.
Yeah.
Like they have stayed regardless of what the score is on some of these games. And so it was good to see it the way it should be and the way it's kind of always been. And I know that sometimes it's difficult to have that happen now, but I think after a long layoff of not having a home game, right, and you've only had 2 to this point, you were on the road a couple of weeks in a row, that doesn't happen too often. And so I think people were clamoring to get back into the stadium, and it was fun, man. Star-studded too, and a lot of big people in there to watch the Tigers take care of Auburn.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of big people. Then you had the number 1 quarterback in the nation, number 1 player in the nation, and Bryce Underwood for 2025 in the building. You definitely put your best foot forward there.
Yeah.
I mean, legendary. Said it's you in Michigan right now. It's early, but it's you in Michigan. I mean, legendary performance, legendary venue. Watching a quarterback just have overwhelming success, right?
Yeah.
Like you really couldn't have done a better pitch in that regard. So just shout out to everybody who got out there and made it so crazy and made it so loud and so hard for the Auburn Tigers. I still want to get some more offense up, but let's shift over to the defense quickly. Look, this was definite defensive improvement. The run stuffs, I thought, from the defensive line were the best they've been all year long, no longer allowing the offensive line to reset the line of scrimmage. A yard and 2 on your side of the ball. I thought guys fought well. Again, we don't want to go too crazy with this, right? Because the defense looked pretty damn good against Mississippi State, and then look what happened. Because this is like look at what Mizzou did to Kentucky on Saturday. You've been facing very good offenses, like some of the best in the country. Auburn, that is not, and so you did what you needed to do against bad offense, and I give you credit for that. There's still things to work on. I thought Alexander had a strong game in coverage, but the guy got a highlight off the bat because his performances and going to get lost in the shuffle in the story of just how bad the LSU defense is overall. But Harold Perkins right now is playing his ass off. He is, and it's been the last few games. Yep. He's been great really almost since Grambling, like Mississippi State on. Once you started the SEC, Harold Perkins came alive. Remember against State, he had that pass breakup in the end zone, then immediately the next play came up with a 3rd down sack.
Yep.
Well, he's kept that streak going, and the TFL early on the swing pass was just an athletic act of beauty. The sack was raw, shot out of a cannon speed. There was a little swing pass at the end of the game that didn't really matter, maybe like late 3rd, early 4th, Jake, and Perk had dropped into coverage and passed his guy off, and then, I don't know, he's maybe 15, 20 yards away when that swing pass starts to get thrown, and he comes up with a TFL. It is speed unlike I've ever really seen on a football field. Oh, and then who stopped Peyton Thorne from getting the first down on the 4th and 5 when he tried to scramble? Harold Perkins and that speed. So Hercules was all over the field Saturday night.
The closing speed is
unreal.
It's unmatched almost. And he just time and time again, you see him just hawk down really good athletes.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, athletes that typically they don't have that happen to them. And so, yeah, I mean, him playing at the level that he's playing at is going to be crucial here down the stretch. And just looking at what we saw from the defense. This was probably the first time that they've been healthy in a while as well. Like you saw Omar Speights go out there and play 52 plays.
Yeah, and he looked better than he's looked all year.
Yes, I mean, I think it's been his best game, and you started to see a little bit of different rotation. I thought Jordan Jefferson had another game, kind of went away last game. We didn't really talk about him a lot after talking about him so much before. I thought he came back. He might have actually had his best game.
He did the dirty work here. Didn't get a splash play.
Right.
Didn't get like a big TFL. But he was when I talk about the defensive line not getting pushed around and having good run stuffs, he was the one setting that wall a lot of times, taking on the double teams and not getting pushed back.
Yeah, I thought he was a highlight. And if you go back and you watch the All-22, like T-Bob's saying, like it's not gonna. If you just box score watch, it's not gonna flash. Maybe even TV copy, it might not splash, but. This is somebody that certainly held his own. Again, I thought he held point. I thought he was somebody that kind of opened up some of those lanes for those linebackers to go make some plays. And Omar Speights did have his best game, I think, in a Tiger uniform. And he looked healthy for the first time because, it was the last week. I mean, he had a hitch in his get-up still.
Yeah, he's had one the whole season.
Yeah.
Really. And it's why Weeks has looked so much just more dynamic in terms of moving. I still think I was a little surprised they didn't play Weeks more, but I like you said, we'll.
Well, yeah, the defensive snaps. So you had what 65 total plays. Harold Perkins, Major Burns, Andre Sam. They played. It says 58 plays in the game, so they kind of led there.
Feels like Parashan got a lot more run this game. He flashed a couple of times. Nice game from
24
Shan.
snaps, probably his highest total. Mekhi Wingo only played 20. Mason Smith played 42. Jordan Jefferson played 31. So his is way up because he's typically somewhere in that 20 range. Jacoby Guillory played 18 plays, probably his most this year as well. So that defensive line was rotating more than they have. Now, the linebackers did not. Whit Weeks played 9 plays. I mentioned Speights played 52. Greg Penn played 56.
Yeah, it feels right.
I switched it for you too.
This was a this was a great look. This was and also this was a Penn and Speights sort of game, right?
Yes.
So a running team, maybe if it's more coverage, maybe Weeks plays more. Like we'll have to wait and see. I thought I liked seeing Mekhi Wingo get the sack before half, stop off for pulling any scores, score halftime score shenanigans.
Yeah.
I still think Savion Jones loses contain a little too much. I'd like to see him be a little better on the edge, but I did love, and Kelly DeRay, he talked about this in the postgame press conference. This defense is finally doing a good job, a much better job of being disciplined and trusting their teammates and trusting your assignment and not trying to do too much. There were a couple, and this happened over the last couple of weeks, but there were a couple times this game where maybe a quarterback gets outside the pocket, he's running, and a player, instead of breaking off and trying to stop the quarterback, stays on his receiver. And granted, it looks funny because, he stays on the receiver as the quarterback starting to run behind him, and maybe the quarterback gets some extra yards. But what they don't get is the 80-yard busted play touchdown.
Yeah.
Okay, you live to fight another day. And I think you're just seeing a lot more assignment discipline out of this defense, which, like, if you are not great personnel wise, which obviously they are not in the secondary, you have to control the controllables. You can't get bigger, stronger, faster within like whatever. What you can do your job and execute what the call is. And although it won't be perfect and you'll allow that 15-yard scramble and everything, maybe a first, like it won't, but over time, it'll do enough to allow this offense to win you the game.
I think you're exactly right. And one of the things is when you turn on the tape, you just want to see them in the right positions in certain situations. Yes, when the quarterback scrambles, man, you have got to know your responsibility. You have to know that if the quarterback runs 7 yards, it's much better than a 70-yard gainer behind you, like we've talked about. But also, like in zone coverage, you have a zone. Like that's why it's called zone coverage. You have an area that you have to go commit to and cover, and much better this game, certainly than it has been the last few games. There was no floating. Right, I thought Omar Speights had his best coverage game at the linebacker position. I thought Sage Ryan had his best game in coverage as well. Getting to the point, knowing your responsibility, and then defending your responsibility. And so when you don't have maybe, hey, we can't go man across the board because right now the talent's not there to do that. Well, if you play zone, well, you have to do those things. You have to do the little things. And so that's what was so frustrating before is, okay, well, you're calling this to kind of not be a safe call, but try to keep things in front of you. But it's not working because you're not doing what the call is saying. You're not doing your responsibility. And that's why you were getting burned a lot of times. And so to see them actually do what the call says, to play it really well, it sounds elementary, but that is growth for this
but they
defense.
weren't doing the elementary things until they ended up as the worst in the country. So do the elementary things and you'll get better. And I thought Alexander did better, man. Now he's going to be tested against better receivers, obviously, but they attacked him and they attacked him a bunch, and he held up well. And like Brian Kelly said, the bottom line with Alexander is just continuing to get that aggression, like get him to play with that aggression, play for the ball in the air. If you make a mistake, get burned, have the confidence that, okay, if we duel again, I'm going to win that fight. And Alexander was really solid this game. For sure.
Yeah, I thought this was, again, like we keep saying it, probably his best. And I know the offense that they win against, but still, it is good to see like the things on tape that you're supposed to be doing. So, yes, offense be damned. Like you can take a look at this and, be encouraged by the growth that you saw from their individual matchups and what they did, not just, the bad offense that they played.
Yeah, statistically, you're the worst defense in the country. So you can't really look any gift horse in the mouth like we talked about. Like you can't take any matchup for granted, and this defense did a really good job. Sub 20 points, coming up with the stops and not let it get weird, like I said, before half or anything going into the second half.
Hey, you held them less than Georgia did.
Yeah, true. I mean, you did. I mean, you played them much, obviously. You kicked their ass. Georgia did not at all. And that's one of the things that was surprising, again, because Georgia's offensive line struggled with that Auburn defensive line. Your offensive line made them look like they just didn't really exist.
I was looking at the pass protection grades. Will Campbell, 88%. Miles Frazier, 86%. Lance Hurd, 81%. Yeah. Dellinger, 75%. Charles Turner was the only one that wasn't in the 70s. He was at 69%. I mean, that's
he's just going for his number.
Yeah, that's dominant.
It's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. They're boring in how dominant they are, which is the ultimate compliment you can give to an offensive line. All right, when we get back, more OTB. We'll continue with our film review. Keep it locked.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Community Steel Company, baby! CommunitySteelCo.com is the website. Brand new website. Looking good, dude. But look, if you need purlin, tubing, steel buildings, why would you go anywhere else but the local joint that's right here in Gonzales, Louisiana, where you save money and get top quality product, okay? And you save that money because this ain't like a lot of the national guys. A lot of middlemen BS jacking up the price of the consumer on the back end. They get the steel directly. They make it on site. They sell to you. You get the best prices, and you get live and local customer service. Go check them out today. Community Steel Co., Community Steel Company.
Yeah, you'll see that new website, CommunitySteelCo.com, and it is set up for your success. And everything they do is set up for your success. I mean, you are going to have a great experience, a local experience. And so go ahead, pick up the phone, give them a call today at 225-647-2020. You're going to talk to somebody in the area, not in Atlanta, Houston, Dallas, somebody right here, 225-647-2020.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Life in Louisiana is a song. A symphony of sound, colors, and movement. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
It was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
Running Bart's marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated.
Join me for a Football Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, presented by Cork's Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp. Preston Guy talking Tigers, and Katie George from ESPN on LSU and Auburn. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Doing a little LSU film review. Hit the like button if you're watching online, youtube.com/1045 ESPN. Other things to highlight. I think it's funny how quickly we just assume that Logan Diggs is going to end up with 100 yards a game. You know, we kind of take it for granted. 18 for 97, a touchdown. And it's funny because he was really, during my film review, was a lot of my opening focus, and I just forgot to mention him too much here. But his chemistry with the offensive line right now, they are in a real flow state.
Yep.
I'll text it to the group later, but there's a weird little stilting run from early in this game where I don't know how Logan Diggs felt what he did, but his ability to work around a guy who was penetrating and wait for some stuff to develop, and then all of a sudden he's got like a solid 6 to 7. That's why you're looking up and he has 18 for 97 and a touchdown. And if you're someone who was like, you're never going to be good if Jaden Daniels leads in rushing, well, thanks to Logan Diggs, Jaden's like always just a couple of yards behind. So Diggs continues, even though, and it was also great seeing Emery pop off a bit. It was great seeing Josh Williams get in there and score. Like, you have depth there to keep guys healthy and keep tread off tires and keep them fresh into the fourth quarter. But yeah, Diggs is just in the zone right now with those 5 up front. And then we got to talk.
Didn't play in the Florida State game.
Really, like, didn't play at all? Just had a choice?
No, I think. If I'm not mistaken, was it something from him transferring? Yes.
They were saying that Diggs was like injured. Kelly said
was
that.
Is that what it was?
Kelly said.
Bradford
because Bradford got the
carry of
start.
the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then they threw in that swing pass and he took like 40 yards.
It's like classic LSU lore. Like, a guy's on tape and you're like, oh, where is he?
Yeah. Like, where's Trey Bradford?
I don't know. No idea.
But yeah, Logan Diggs didn't play in the first one. And ever since then, I mean, he is, like, his last 4 games in the SEC, 97, 101, 134, 97, 6.9 a carry, 5.3, 5.6, 5.4.
There you go.
I mean, he is thriving right now. And you're right, T. It's a great relationship with his offensive line and patient, but also like when he decides to go, it's like he shot out of a cannon.
Yeah.
And if I listen to another broadcast, it's like, well, he's not the fastest guy, but he sure does move quick. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? Like, he looks pretty fast to me.
Yeah.
It looks like he is doing everything that he has to do. I mean, he is full speed as soon as he makes his decision. And so many times at that position, I'm like, okay, you can have a guy that runs a 4.3, but if he's not sure whenever he makes the decision to put his foot in the ground, it doesn't matter because he's a 4.6 guy. You can have a 4.5 guy that when he puts his foot in the ground, he's 4.5 the entire time and going to be faster than the 4.3 guy. Diggs is that guy.
He's got that acceleration.
Yes.
It's like his 0 to 60 is, or at least it feels elite, and that's leading to a lot of success. And then we talk about Lance Hurd. Emory Jones goes down instead of being an ankle sprain after the game. And although, I certainly you hope that it's not a high ankle, right? Because that could be problematic for the entire year going forward. If it's a low ankle, you're probably not in a bad spot. Because Lance Hurd, after the game, Brian Kelly called him a plug-and-play player. That is accurate. His size is stunning. It jumps off the screen. And his ability to move, the balance that he has when he's pass setting, he's impossible to bull rush. You got old upperclassmen on this Auburn defensive line trying to go through this man's chest and can't get anywhere. The punch, his understanding of picking up blitzes, twists, it's hard not to be. Now, I still think your best 5 is the 5 that you've been playing with, okay? But it is impossible not to be really incredibly excited about the potential of 53 out there because he looks awesome.
Pre-game warm-ups, he looks awesome.
Yeah.
No offense. Maybe looks the best of 53 that I've seen.
The best. He's barely better than me and Brian Balestrino or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
Balestra? I don't know. No, he looks the best.
Deep snapper during my time at LSU, a little bit better.
Yeah, probably a little better.
Thank you for your service to our country, though. But gosh, you're
Not
right.
This week though, Gant. Sorry, dude.
You're right. Well, I think he's Air Force.
I'm just kidding.
He's Air Force, I believe.
Thank you for real, obviously.
Yeah. But no, it doesn't look like he's a true freshman out there. And I'm not just talking about his body.
No.
I'm just talking about everything.
No. It's.
He told us though. He told us before he got here.
He did. He said he's going to be starting tackle, right? And he could be on. He would start for 90% of SEC teams right now. Maybe 90% of teams in the country. It's just that you actually already have 2 stellar bookend tackles. What a glorious situation for this LSU offensive line going forward, not just this year, but next year as well.
And he was all the way, also real quick, he was teammates with Will Campbell in high school.
Did they just murder people? Did they win state? Did Neville win state when they were there?
I don't know.
Because if they didn't, that's insane.
We don't keep up with high school football like that here, but if they didn't, we got to check out the coach's resume.
Wow, PFF has him as the highest graded true freshman tackle in the Power 5, no sacks and 132 snaps. Whew. Jeez, dude, he's awesome. All right, when we get back, more to me wrapping up our film review next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com. Join the All-Star family and take advantage of, the many advantages. First off, I love the people at All-Star. Whether it's a sales department helping you and your family find what you need, financial service department when it's time to get your vehicle serviced, it's so easy. They send you text updates. They'll drive you rentals for Miss Lisa Sessions. They're the best. And when you're talking about that Toyota product, you're talking about a product that's going to stand the test of time, okay? Go check out the Sienna. Go check out the Tundra, the Sequoia, All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge. Go see them off of Airline Day, All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
Yeah, go check out the website that T-Bob just gave you. Remember, you can build your Toyota right there on the site. Whatever you want to add to it, whatever you want to take away, it is yours. You customize it the way that you want it, and everything is available, obviously, in that process. It's available in the leasing process. It's available in the rental process. Everything is available there at All-Star Toyota. Check them out online, allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $12,000 off MSRP or 2.9% for 72 months on all new 23 Ram 1500 trucks in stock. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. We'll recap LSU Auburn, Saints Texans. We'll hear from Brian Kelly. Join us for Monday's AFR 3 to 6, 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What up, everyone? Closing out hour number 1. And that's pretty much it for LSU film review, dude. I'm going through my notes. Like I said, it's kind of a chill film review, to be honest, because of how good everything was. I think if there's one thing we didn't talk about, we touched on maybe a little bit. Mason Taylor is invaluable for this offense. When you look at what Mike Denbrock wants to do for tight end, so many of the interlocking concepts from a play calling standpoint, a play design standpoint, so many are kind of built on the tight end position and how they use that. And Mason Taylor was great this game and continues to be better and better and really make all of that work. And you need him, right? Because behind him, I liked when he was out, I liked what Mark Wade did, but the tight end position is so uber important that going from him to a freshman is that's harmful. But yeah, I don't think I got anything else.
He played every snap. Mason Taylor played
did.
all
Okay.
67 snaps. You had two other tight ends play. Markway played 2 snaps. Pimpton played 1 snap. So, I mean, he is crucial to everything that you want to do. Has he played his best this year? No, I don't think so. But he's been hurt, and you're starting to see a healthy Mason Taylor. I thought he played incredibly well in this contest. Run blocking, pass blocking, route running, right? I think it was a complete game for him, and he unlocks a lot of things for you.
Yeah, I mean, go look at his block on the opening Malik Neighbors touchdown.
Yeah.
Just a thing of beauty to spring that to score. Damian Ramos continues to just be solid as hell, which is exactly what you need. You never want to – if this offense rarely stalls, but the fact that when you do, you're almost always coming away with 3 it's a great feeling. That's an overwhelming edge for opponents trying to keep up. And then whenever Jay Barron punts, which is not often, he's been really good as well. And you saw some life out of the return game. So special
Kickoff
teams
return,
okay.
Great.
Punt return still
catch the ball.
Yeah.
Catch the ball. If it hits the ground and it takes this huge bounce for the other team, man, that is flipping the field. You're talking about 15 extra yards on some of these punts, man. You were back there to catch the ball. That's why you have Clayton back there, because he's there. He's supposed to be the sure-handed guy.
All right. Grant, I think we may actually be going to a live right now. Is that what it's saying?
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
RejuveMeMedical.com. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. You want to recapture that youthful, energetic feeling that you used to have back in the day? Well, I don't care if you're 20, 30, 40, 50, male or female. Rejuve can help get you there. Andropause, menopause, facial aging, mood and memory problems, insomnia, sexual dysfunction, weight gain, not seeing the gains from the gym anymore. All of this is treatable by the experts over there at Rejuve Me. Go get your free consultation, get your labs drawn, and help them customize a plan for you.
Oh, not seeing the gains anymore in the weight room. It's not a good feeling, but you know what? You can get it back. Maybe you're gaining weight and you're like, what the heck? I know I'm doing the right things. Well, you can get your weight loss back as well.
Are you really doing the right things?
Well, you think you're doing the right things.
Are you really doing the right things?
But then Rejuve Me shows you you're not. RejuveMeMedical.com.
Bayou Ford is taking $10,000 off MSRP on select new 23 Ford F-150 trucks. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Life in Louisiana is like a run-on sentence. A poem that doesn't rhyme. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
It is 8 a.m. on Monday, October 16th. In Baton Rouge, expect clear skies with a high of 71. Coming up on OTB this hour, weekend winners. You can follow the show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB ESPN or watch on the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Hour number 2 of OTB, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let me go.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB, hour number 2. Hope everyone's having a great day today. Champ says, what would it cost to buy T-Bob's thigh and want to advertise there? I'm not opposed to it, dude.
Tattoo?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't do a tattoo. I'd do a temporary thing because, I want to be able to sell to, unless nobody's going to buy and add infantitum on my leg. I want to make sure that I can re-roll that space if I need to.
Yeah. They remove tattoos. Painful.
No,
like bacon grease.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Well, now I forgot what I was going to say.
Sorry.
Oh, I think it was the legendary Sean Fox who once said, if I could sell the oxygen in my studio to a sponsor, I would. So this is just the local radioman's plight. So if anybody wants to advertise on my inner thigh, so when I hike it up, you see something like right here, I'm dead serious. Pay me. If we can do this thing, dude. I don't know. Does this make you hungry? Like maybe like a grocery store or something? Like I don't know.
You're going to go for another H word.
Well, okay, maybe, yeah. But are there any good like adult shops left around? I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know how much advertising the old hustler's up to nowadays.
Moscona basically sold the oxygen in the room. He had that thing during COVID that's supposed to take like the particles of the air and take he basically sold the oxygen.
That's true. And he cleaned it. That was good oxygen we were drinking back then.
So
what happened to it? Bring it back in here.
No. So anything can be sold. So I think the white thigh, why not?
There you go. Code of collection on T-Bob's thigh for the LSU Bama game. There we go. Guys, just get in touch with me, dude. Okay? Just get in touch with me. And we can make this happen. If we can turn this bit real and somebody give me money to put, let's reach out to Adam and Eve, Hootie. I agree. Somebody gives me money, that'd be excellent. Lord Ford, I'd like to park it between T-Bob's thighs. No, I'm saying, okay, Lord, I just feel you, dog. Thank you. But we're going to have to, I don't want to get the sheriff out here at 8:03. Okay, let's just pump the brakes a little bit there, Lord. But thank you. I feel you. All right. Right now, it's time for some weekend winners. Not the Saints.
That's how winning is done.
That's right. We can't have anyone freak out there, okay? We've got to keep our composure. We've got too far.
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
Are you doing what it takes to win a championship?
Wow, winning.
Well, then I guess there's only one thing left to do.
What's that? Win the whole thing.
All right, my first weekend winner, simply the NFL. Turn it down a little bit, Grant. The NFL, it's just insane, man. somebody at church on Sunday was asking me about betting on NFL games, and I just told him straight up, look, I don't know how to make heads or tails of it. How am I supposed to know what's going to happen when the Browns beat the Niners and the Jets beat the Eagles? You know? And I get it, like the Browns defense is incredible, but the Browns beat the Niners with what's his name? PJ Walker at quarterback. Not even the man they paid $250 million to or whatever.
Not even the backup. Not DTR.
Oh, I forgot about DTR. I just assumed PJ Walker would beat him out.
No, he's the third guy. I think DTR's hurt.
Unreal, dude. The NFL, those guys are all just so good. The margin. I mean, look at CJ Stroud and the Texans, right? Like, I'm thinking, like, you know, they asked me, what about Saints -1? I'm like, I mean, I guess, right? It's that defense going against a rookie quarterback, and, well, lo and behold.
Bills Giants last night. Giants should have won the game if they'd have scored right before half.
So it's just it's a beautiful league, dude. It's a beautiful league. There's so much talent. Anybody can truly beat anybody any given Sunday, and that makes it exciting. Right. Unless you're the Saints, then it sucks.
We'll get there, unfortunately. And Taylor, I'm still not talking to you tonight until the Chargers beat the Cowboys. Weekend loser. Everyone who votes in the AP poll, for the most part, outside of two people, and then the coaches poll. Washington right now, number 5 in the country in both polls. Only 2 first-place votes in the AP poll, none in the coaches poll.
Well, did you see Georgia win 38-20 over Vandy, Jake?
I did.
Okay?
Like,
crown him.
Again, I can respect what Georgia did for the last 2 years. It's incredible. Like, it truly is. It's incredible. This is this year. And based off what we've seen from this year, this season, there's no way in hell that 43 people can turn in their first place vote and say, yep, I feel good about this. Yep, this is the best team right now in the country. They might be by the end of it. But right now, they have not shown that. They got 43. Michigan got 16. Ohio State gets 1. Florida State gets 1. Washington only gets 2. Like, I just don't know what you're watching if you don't respect Washington more than that. Like, to beat that Oregon team, who I think is a firm top 10 team in the country, and to do it with Michael Penix playing at that elite level, I don't know who's going to slow this offense down. It's just, to me, it's like, why do we continue to have these polls if we're just going to base it off sometimes name, sometimes last year? If you look at what's played out on the field this year, there's just no way you can make that make sense.
The playoff rankings should take that into account because they're not beholden to last year.
No,
you know?
They're not.
Like that Georgia should absolutely not.
Georgia won't be
one.
one.
Yeah, no.
I don't think in the playoff ranking.
The only team that I would vote 1 over Washington right now, and I wouldn't do it because they haven't played anybody, is Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan continues to just roll teams up, but. And even though they may be the number 1 team, I would honor Washington because of the big win. That's just me, though.
Give me an AP vote.
Yeah, give me a Heisman vote.
I'll vote the way it should be.
Weekend winner, of course, you already know it's Alec Iamannor. Friday night, we'll talk Colorado Stanford probably in hour number 3 a little bit. But Friday night, Colorado's rolling, right? Just absolutely rolling early. It looks so damn easy. And then out of nowhere, Iamannor comes alive. 13 catches for 294 yards and 3 touchdowns. And the final score that was to tie it in overtime or there's so many scores, I'm getting confused. Because then Shedeur ends up throwing the pick in the second OT, which, again, awful decision by Deion, but we'll get there. But to moss Travis Hunter, and then to have Travis Hunter escort him into the end zone as he's holding the ball around him, which is crazy because if Hunter had just like pushed off or ripped his head back, then it would have been incomplete. You know what I'm saying, Jake? Like this wasn't like an instant catch touchdown like they were in the end zone. He literally, there it is right there. So yeah, first overtime to tie it. Unreal stuff from Iamannor. Takes over, and Stanford and Troy Taylor get a massive win out of nowhere.
I mean, 29-0. I'm almost like, I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to go to bed. And then I was kind of eye hustling. I'm like, okay, Stanford's fighting. Good for Stanford. You know what I mean?
I told everybody at the concert Colorado won. So I saw the 29-0 lead, and I was like, talking about how my Colorado bet hit. Like the over and everything. And then, no. Come to find out, I woke up Saturday morning. They did not win. They did not. And I've never seen a game like it. But shout out Iamannor.
Yeah. We would have had a pontoon parlay hit.
Okay, Louisville's out, boys. Get him the F out of here. It's 2 weeks. Twice they've let down the parlay.
Who put that in there?
That's on
Was that
us.
you, Taylor?
I did. I mean, they were a 7-point favorite.
See why I don't
over
trust
Pitt.
his? See why I
It
don't
was
trust his
like-
picks?
Yeah.
His last 2 would have sunk the boat as well. All Taylor did was come up with an incredible name.
Yes.
The pontoon parlay was pure gold, but he wasted all of his gold on
Notre
that.
Dame -3.
Also,
T-Bob.
I'm also 3-2 in the pontoon parlay. But
-3 UNC, easy cover. Mario +3 Mizzou.
We had to have a dog in there.
All right. -7 Louisville, and they got their ass whipped.
No, I'm sorry. Look, we're all fired up.
Can't handle success.
No pointing fingers in the pontoon. All we know, no, put it away. Put that giant finger away. All we needed, look, the real enemy here is Louisville. Okay? The real enemy is Louisville. Louisville's lost 3 games in a row in which they've been ranked in the top 15.
I know.
So every time they get there, they immediately crap the bed. I don't blame you, Taylor. I blame Brom, and I kind of blame Narduzzi.
Well, my mom plays the pontoon parlay. She looks forward to it every week, and she's blaming Taylor.
That's fine. I think we went 1-3 last week, and then I lost this week. So
No, we didn't go 1-3 last week. I mean, we've gone almost 3-1 every week. We only had 1 bad week.
we lost at least 2 last week.
No, because I was on the road, and I threw Rutgers out there, so I know that one hit, and I think yours hit too, didn't it?
Yeah.
Well, look, we'll do the research and development.
Cody asks here, where'd you get that vintage jacket? This is the new home field bomber. Check out the back. Right now, use the code LSU23. You get 10% off, and then that hooks up whiskey and wine because they know that you did it for that. So
nice. Well, does it hook just you up?
Check it out.
Are you don't y'all have multiple sponsors? Is it everybody, or is it just
all the advertising money on whiskey and wine is split amongst the crew?
Oh, nice.
So yeah, so it helps the show out.
Yeah, somebody was
for
asking
sure.
about this. It's just Nike. It's just Nike.
All
So
right,
just
let's look
Nike, and
I don't think I've seen that
you
before.
find it. Yeah.
All right, my next weekend winner. A bunch of look. I thought Marcus Freeman was a weekend winner, man.
Yeah.
Notre Dame beats the hell out of USC, and Marcus Freeman finally gets that first signature win with the Irish. I think Marcus Freeman's awesome. I think that all the talk of is he the guy, not the guy. I get it. That's what happens when look
Notre Dame
when you lose, right? And it's Notre Dame, but you should have beaten Ohio State. You absolutely handle USC, and you do with defense. Your side of the ball. So, shout out Marcus Freeman. That was an awesome bounce back after stumbling against Louisville.
Thought it was as well. Weekend loser to every single person that tried to convince me that USC was going to be different this year. Every single one of y'all. Because the players that they got, you stargazed. That's what you did. You stargazed. You got a former five-star guy from A&M. Wasn't a good player. You got Barry Alexander. Had 1 game. You got Mason Cobb. Good player. Hasn't been a difference. It's the same old story. You can play really good offense, and when you don't, you're going to get your ass whipped like you did last weekend in South Bend. And Caleb Williams has to be Superman. Well, he was Clark Kent this game, and he didn't play well. He had 3 interceptions. USC is not going to win anything of note. They're going to score points. They're going to have Heisman winners. They're going to get eyeballs. All of that's great. You're not going to win a championship playing the way that they play. If they continue on with Alex Grinch being the defensive coordinator, they're just going to have nice moments and not nice trophies.
I love that just last week, Lincoln Riley was talking about how good this defense is, how much improvement they're showing, and they're like, damn it, or they're better than you think. And then they, what was the exact stat? I can't remember. They gave up 40 points for the 3rd game in a row.
I always thought they were worse than they were on paper because we were talking about it they were 35th at some point stop rate.
They had a good stop. They had a good stop rate, and they had an incredible amount of TFLs and sacks.
Yeah,
but they are awful against the run.
I mean, my thing is we talked about this in the offseason. It's is Lincoln Riley still? I mean, when are we going to start pointing the finger more at him? We talked about it he's loyal to a fault to Alex Grinch, and honestly, take the defense out of it. In big games, Lincoln Riley teams shrink. They do. They did at Oklahoma, and so far they have at USC.
Yeah, hard to argue with. I mean, I'm a big Lincoln supporter, but you're right. I mean, you're not wrong. Yeah, but if you're already small, you don't want to shrink anymore. That's just that's putting your worst foot forward.
But that's one of the things you notice when
anything you got to try to fluff it up.
Yeah,
and Lincoln has no ability to do so, dude.
You can. Yeah, look, they they had the easy portion of their schedule already, y'all. They're about to go into a gauntlet.
No, I know.
They're going to lose 3 games.
Now, let's be clear about this. Like, they'll probably catch someone. Notre Dame was a uniquely bad matchup for USC in terms of everything. Like,
right.
Even down to the coverage that Notre Dame loves to play is like the coverage that Caleb Williams is worst against, and you saw that.
Yeah, and guess what? Copycat.
For sure.
We're going to play that same coverage, all right? And when you look at who they have left, it is going to be so difficult for this defense with some of these offenses they're playing. Notre Dame's offense is maybe outside of Cal the worst one they're going to face here down the stretch.
Yeah.
I
When
mean,
Notre
Utah's
Dame
kind
did
of
do
similar.
well, though, they were excellent. Notre Dame was at maximizing situations, right? You get a turnover, they turned it into 7.
Yeah.
And because if you look at the box score,
Yes.
you would not think the
Offensive
score
yards, right.
ended. But I mean, 5 turnovers is going to be the end of the. That's the story. But still, if you look at the box score, you'd be like, oh wow, that's a little bit odd considering what the score was. But that's because Hartman and company were excellent at capitalizing off of those mistakes that they created. It wasn't like USC was just fumbling into them. Like Notre Dame created the mistake. So just a beautiful win for Marcus Freeman. My next weekend winner, the Pacific Northwest Showcase, whatever you want to call it, the game, Washington, Oregon. We probably should have started here. It was everything that is awesome about college football. An offensive duel, but not one like LSU Ole Miss, which I would describe as bad football. An offensive duel that was elite, right? Where the defenses did have moments and they did shine at times. And you had 2 great quarterbacks going back and forth. The setting on the water and on Lake Washington is just absolutely beautiful. The fans were crazy. The weather was stunning. It was a perfect showcase and day of college football all around. We'll talk about it more in hour 3, the game itself, but the game did not disappoint, and Penix was awesome.
That setting is
So
elite, and you've got a chance to play there. I've only had a chance to see it. I mean, it's everything that you want in college football, like the setting, and then the game was everything that you wanted. T-Bob's exactly right. Like, it was just the right amount of offense, just the right amount of defensive stops, and it was an epic college football game. And I texted the group, like, I almost feel like that game deserved overtime.
Yeah.
Like, it deserves some more time. And so when he missed the kick, I was sad because, man, I wanted to see – I can tell you this. There was a lot of people in the LSU press box because LSU had just kicked off that were eye hustling the TV.
Oh, yeah.
Like, TVs that are typically on the LSU feed were on the Washington-Oregon game still.
Yeah, it was the same thing in Don Juan. We started up the game audio, and most of the televisions had LSU, but we kept a couple with Washington on there as well.
I think a weekend winner's got to be Tez Walker, North Carolina.
Yeah.
I mean, 6 catches, 132 yards, 3 touchdowns. Just continues to wait out the process early in the season, and now he's on the field. It has opened up so many things for North Carolina. They beat Miami 41-31, and Drake May's got his weapon. Drake May is playing at the level we thought he would play all season long.
Yep.
And I mean, kind of don't look now. Like, North Carolina is a real contender.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, certainly for the ACC, they are Florida State to me is a very, very good team, but North Carolina has a lot of things that they do well that I think is going to give Florida State some trouble. We don't get them in the regular season, but we could get them in the ACC championship game.
Yeah, and look, Florida State was fantastic this week. And one of their better games, just handling Syracuse. Keon Coleman doing something that nobody had done since Peter Warwick for the Seminoles. Shout out Peter Warwick. Iowa put 55,000 in the stands for a women's basketball game.
Yep.
Shout out Iowa. Also, shout out the Iowa under. Never in doubt.
Not even remotely in doubt.
I purposely didn't bet it till Saturday morning because I wanted to get it as low as I could find it. I got it at 35. Shout out to all the real ones that got it at 33.5, which is what it dropped to by kickoff. And it was never in question.
No.
It's unreal just how incredible the Iowa underbet is. Weekend loser, Deion Sanders. Stop taking the ball first in overtime. We said it the other time. You got lucky against Colorado State. It's an objectively bad decision. You give the initiative to the opponent. And this time, it's a bad interception that ends up costing you, and then you lose the game because of it. Why give them the information edge in that manner? I don't know what the reason is, quite frankly. It's an objectively bad choice by Prime there.
Makes no sense. Like, all the analytics say go the other way. And and this isn't just Deion saying, this is a lot of coaches. Like, don't ever try to be the smartest guy in the room. I mean, Brandon Staley falls into this all the time, Chargers head coach. Like, sometimes, like, if you have a gut feeling, yeah, go with it. Go with the gut feeling. But sometimes when you try to go the complete opposite every single time, it's like, all right, you're trying to be the smartest guy in the room.
It felt like he was almost trying to double down and like, no, this is how you're supposed to do. Like, I did it the first time, worked how we won, so we're going to do it here again. It's like, I don't know. Don't do it. It's crazy. It's stupid. Dumb.
Yeah.
First time. This is the first game in which I would say, like, Colorado getting blown up by Oregon, whatever. That is what it is. This is the first time where I would say this looked like this was a bad coaching job. Where, just that entire team lost focus. Maybe they overused Travis Hunter. I mean, it's tough to say because he was dominating on offense, so you don't want to take him off there, but he looked exhausted by the end of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, even in that final pick, you would expect that he would maybe go up and like break it up, right?
Yeah.
Because but he didn't look like he had any energy left.
Yeah, certainly coming back from injury and missing a couple of weeks. And I still think Colorado's going to, they're going to win games. I think they're going to make a bowl game, but this one, unexcusable. Like, you can't lose a 29-0 lead against a bad Stanford team.
Look, y'all were talking about losing focus. Look, he's a college kid. I get it. It's a bad look when Shedeur Sanders' Instagram page is posting links to his merchandise during the game. Now, I understand he's not the one doing it, but like you just talked about it, losing focus. It's like they've had a lot of success in a very short amount of time. How are they going to respond? What are we talking about? It's like maintaining your success is almost as hard as getting to that success. Like, is it a little too much for them right now? I mean, we're going to find out because they got some tough games coming up, but honestly,
this is the first time they just felt like a team that was 1-11 last year.
And I got to be honest, T-Bob, I mean, they probably should have lost to Arizona State last week. I mean, they were down in that game.
I ain't going to play the shoulda, though, because we got to give credit for them coming back to win.
For sure. Arizona State's a bad football team. Colorado State is a bad football team. I mean, look,
Colorado
they
State
made the
won on
plays.
a Hail Mary against Boise State.
They did. But, I mean,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You're doing bad out there.
That's the thing about Colorado, though, right? Is still it's like 7 wins, which is going to be hard to get to now. Is that's still like a massive win for them. They're not a championship team, but this was the first time where they F this up.
Yeah, because when we looked at it at the beginning of the year, we were like, okay, what games are they going to win? We didn't know what Deion was going to bring there. Like, a lot of people, at least 2 or 3 weeks ago, probably chalked this one up as a W. It was like, oh, that's one of the wins that you have to get. Yeah, they were 1-4 going into this game. Like, yeah, it's a mess up for sure.
So this is the first real prime failure, I would say, on the whole season. So, is what it is.
Real quick, last one for me. Weekend loser. All the A&M fans in my mentions because on pre-gaming the SEC, we give out best bets. And I gave Tennessee -3 as a best bet.
Which was very against the grain this last week. Everybody should know that. The CFB hive mind was in on A&M here.
I thought Neyland Stadium was going to be a difference maker, and I just don't think A&M right now is the team that everybody continues to tell us that they are. I think they have good things about them. I think their defensive front, other things, but they are just not a complete football team. They don't have enough pieces to the puzzle right now. And Tennessee is kind of, a team that's good, not great, but I thought like being at home and some of the things that they did well was going to match up well with Texas A&M. It was an ugly game, by the way. I mean, it was a sloppy game, but they win 20-13. And I had so many A&M fans in my mentions like, do you even know ball? I'm like,
it's just,
do you even know a Colt?
At the end of the day, Jimbo's offenses are awful on the road. Awful. And I made the mistake of trusting them, thinking the A&M defense. And honestly, the defense did their job. The offenses are awful.
The last time they won a road game?
And Jimbo plays scared. It's horrible. All right, when we get back, it's very long. Now, let's just really wade into a giant pile of black and gold excrement called the game that took place in Houston yesterday. Coming up next here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
ITI Technical College, iticollege.edu, iticollege.edu. For 50 years, they've been changing students' lives, celebrating 50 years, man, and honoring their students all throughout this fall in doing so. But look, chances are, and so look, if you're an alumni or ITI has helped you find that better life, gotten you on that career path that you're thoroughly enjoying now, that has set you up with long-term financial stability. Go check it out online and see all the celebrations they got planned, because they want to celebrate 5 decades of changing Louisiana lives. This is a local family-owned trade school. Get a career that you're searching for. Get that direction. ITI Technical College.
Yeah, go to the website, iticollege.edu, but we always encourage you, go see them off Airline Highway, right? Because the campus is really set up for success. You're going to go there, you're going to be blown away, and you're going to have an opportunity. You can speak with admissions there. You can do all this online, but we do encourage you to get out to Airline Highway to see it for yourself. But you can do everything right there on the webpage, iticollege.edu, iticollege.edu.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The importance of doing this Fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the Fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a Fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. And I think we're rocking and rolling.
Scoocha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water, they can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines, or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs.
Join me for a Football Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, presented by Corks, Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp. Preston Guy talking Tigers, and Katie George from ESPN on LSU and Auburn. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Appropriate music, I would say, as many Saints fans feeling like their Saints hopes getting murdered yesterday in Houston as C.J. Stroud and a rookie quarterback going against this defense And even though it looked really easy early on, it's not like they finished strong, right? And it's not like he finished with any sort of overwhelming numbers. And yet, I'm always accusing Kirk Cousins of empty calorie games.
Yeah, you are.
Derek Carr's 350 here for 13 points. My man's just ate an entire bag of cheese puffs. And I love cheese puffs, so I get it. But ain't nothing good when you eat the whole giant, little cheese balls, those giant barrels of cheese balls.
Yeah.
I can't control myself around them. They ruin your stomach. They're bad for you. And that was essentially what Derek Carr put on the field yesterday. Real tough to sit up here and not give, and continue to defend that Derek Carr is an upgrade over Andy Dalton, unfortunately. He's pretty good up until the 30, right? Like, the offense is actually great at not going 3 and out. They're great at getting a couple first downs, but my God, when they get close to the end zone, they just piss down their leg.
Yeah. The last series, once you got down there, like, you had a timeout. There's no rule in the NFL that says when you're in that situation, you can only throw between the hash and sideline. There's not a rule. You can use the middle of the football field. They weren't going to give you a 15-yard penalty. I think the Saints thought that.
And that's why you keep a timeout there. Like, that's the exact reason, to keep the entire field open.
So you can use the entire field. And I realized the protection was ish. I realized that. But, man, it was like, get the ball, throw a go route. Get the ball, throw a go route. Like, none of those plays were ever going to hit. And, T, you know me. Like, the last thing that I want to do is sit here and ever say, oh, yeah, I was right. I got that. There's some people in this business that they love to do that. In fact, I think that's why they're in the business sometimes. I want to be wrong on Derek Carr. Like, I want to be wrong.
Yeah.
I want to come here and say, man, I got that wrong. So glad he's doing well in the black and gold. But it's just, it's the same stuff, man. There's a lot of yards, there's some stats, and there's some moments. Like, this isn't falling off a cliff. There's moments, but there's not enough. And in those times, and I realized the fourth quarter stat, right, of all the comebacks. And we were watching the game yesterday, and I'm watching it with my oldest son, who's a gigantic Chargers fan, like the biggest one I know, bigger than I am. And I'm like, look, it's okay. Hey, Derek Carr's got all these fourth quarter comebacks, the most of any active player. He goes, yeah, Dad, but 70% of those were against the Chargers.
Yeah, fair. But I mean, yeah, but through 2 games, that was the separating factor between him and Dalton. Is that he was still playing like Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
But unlike Dalton last year, who was just feckless at the end of games, he found you ways to make a big play and close out and win the first couple. And it looked like he had the potential to do that again this Sunday, and he blew it.
Yeah.
So if the one thing you're hanging your hat on, then you don't do, then you're just Andy Dalton. And so that's why yesterday is so extra disappointing. And look, he said after the game, you could tell, unacceptable. Completely unacceptable, and he's right. And now you see all kinds of weird issues cropping up where we'll play the full audio. I think there's a curse word in it, so I got to double check that before we go live with it. But now you got DeMario Davis and Alvin Kamara both cryptically alluding to preparation and talking about how you ever remember this team needs to be able to look themselves in the mirror and say, am I doing what I need to do in order to be ready for the game on Sunday? So somebody's obviously making people mad in that regard right now. We don't know who. It's just awful. It's another one like the Green Bay game where frankly, I don't think you hold a team to 3 points in the second half. You should never lose. Yeah. And this offense just they cannot score 20 points. And the offensive line is awful. It is by far it is the exact Achilles heel weakness, glass ceiling that we thought it was going to be. Like, I'll say this for Derek Carr, if nothing else. If the offensive line was good, I do think you would be getting significantly better quarterback play. But when you pay Carr that amount of money, he's supposed to be able to overcome really bad offensive line play, and he's not. But make no mistake, the O-line right now the grades are awful. Everybody's in the 50s. It is unreal how poor they are. Then you got to kick Cesar Reeves at the right tackle. If you can't play guard in the NFL, if you can't pass block from the interior, you ain't going to be able to pass block at right tackle. That was bad. I mean, Trevor Penny's not even starting anymore, and then he has to come in. He gets sub 50% on the grade. Ugh. Terrible.
James Hurst, 59.5%. Now, pass blocking, he was actually pretty good. Run blocking, 45%. Right, so he was 84% in pass blocking. Eric McCoy was by far your highest rated offensive lineman, but even that was 66%. That's your highest graded offensive lineman. Ryan Ramczyk, 56.6%. Max Garcia, 57.2%. Saldivari, 51.2%. Trevor Penning, 49.6%.
I mean, what?
Cesar Ruiz, 43.9%. Pass blocking grade for Cesar, 23.6%. I'll say that again, 23.6%. Now, Trevor Penning playing in his natural position was
4
43.
of every 5 reps?
Yeah.
That's unfathomable.
Yep.
It's hard to win pass rush reps if you're a defensive player.
Yeah.
Like,
in fact, if you had 35 rush attempts as a defensive end and you win 3 of them, that's a hell of a day at the office. Hell of a day at the office. In fact, that offensive lineman typically is worried about his job if he wins 32 of 35.
Yeah, and you're out here losing 4 of 5.
But again, he was playing certainly out of position. He's a center.
Yeah.
Like, you're trying to make him a guard because you had Eric McCoy and you drafted him because you thought he could do it. He's a center, and you're kicking him out to tackle because out of necessity. And, Trevor Penning's playing in his natural position, and he's out there throwing out a 43 grade in pass protection and a 52 in the run game. That's egregiously bad.
Also, Blake Grupe. Man, I don't know. There are far bigger problems than Blake Grupe on this team. Blake Grupe's obviously not having the bad impact play to play a la the offensive line, but we talked about it with Dennis Allen. You make that call, you better make sure that you're damn right. And maybe Lutz missed the same. So, okay, this isn't even like a Lutz Grupe thing anymore. The bottom line is you missed 2 kicks. If you hadn't, you would have been in line to take the lead there at the end. You wouldn't have needed a touchdown. You could have lined up for a field goal. Like, these are the margins. And we said it was a bit of a dangerous call for Dennis Allen to side with a rookie over a vet, considering everything that this season means to him. Like, he doesn't have the comfortability of a Peyton when he goes to the Lutz in year number 1 and gets to let Lutz work through some of his issues. Like, if this continues, Dennis Allen is fired. And Grupe was poopy yesterday, and you end up scoring 3 in the second half because of it.
This Texans team is not a bad football team. They're really not. I thought the home crowd, by the way, on the TV, they were popping.
Yeah, they're pumped. They look like they got the best rookie quarterback in the class. It was a great feeling. And, oh my God, why am I blanking?
On what?
The head coach.
DeMeco
Ryans has them, has that entire team playing very well and bought in. And there's an excitement in Houston for sure.
But still a game that if you're the New Orleans Saints, right, you've got all these veterans. You have the advantage at quarterback, you would think, for right now. Well, C.J. Stroud down the road looks like he's going to be a hell of a quarterback. But you got the running back advantage, you feel like. You've got the receiver advantage, you feel like, okay? You've got the defensive advantage. That's the thing that's troublesome is outside the offensive line, like you feel like you have major advantages against a team like the Texans, even though it's on the road. Look, it's easy travel. Like, that is a hop and a skip. Like, that is, we get on the plane, we're up, we're down. Like, that's easy travel in the NFL. A lot of times you don't have that, right? So, yeah, it was loud, but you should be able, with a veteran team, to be able to handle some of those things. And I thought they didn't down the stretch. Certainly in that last drive, you could tell. They had to call a timeout. They were having a hard time communicating what they wanted to get done up front. And with a quarterback that's played as much as Derek Carr has, with an offensive line that has as many snaps as they have, you should even with the guy like Max Garcia in there, like, you got to be able to get out the protection and go.
All right, when we get back, more Saints Film Review. Keep it locked.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Get Gordon and get it done today. Gordon McKernan, injury attorneys, join the G Team and join some of your favorite athletes on said G Team. Look, Malik Neighbors, he on that thing. Harold Perkins on that. Jaden Daniels on that thing. And you can check out great sit-downs with each of these guys as they got the Grub and with G-Series, among other things, at Kid Gordon on social media. But remember, you get in action, each somebody's going to fight for you. 225-888-8888.
Yeah, go to the website, getgordon.com, getgordon.com. Now on all major social media, the handle, well, you probably guessed it. It's at Get Gordon. You can find great information there. You can see all the things that we tell you about with the sit-downs with the Tiger athletes. But if you want to go to the website, getgordonagain.com, right, getgordon.com, you can have a conversation right there on the website. Maybe you're already at work. You can't get to the phone. You can find, past client results. You can find cases they can handle for you. Or you can just pick up the phone. Wherever you're at in the state of Louisiana, it is that area code followed by 888-8888. Get Gordon and get it done.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $12,000 off MSRP or 2.9% for 72 months on all new 23 Ram 1500 trucks in stock. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
I think DeMario said it best in the
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco, voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine. Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621
It's a lot of sacrifice that goes
Street.
into it, and to not be able to reap the reward of preparation. It's annoying. Don't like it. It's not a fun feeling. And again, I'll circle back to what DeMario said. I don't know what everybody else is doing to prepare, but there's a certain type of sacrifice that you have to make to be able to come out here and play at a certain level, at an elite level. So I just hope everybody's doing that.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong. Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance with the latest in office technology. From desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks
it's a lot.
Have
personally,
years and years of
family
experience.
time,
They're highly
personal
trained
time.
professionals. But many companies have that asset.
During this time, you can't do everything
what
you
I'd
want
like
to do,
think
right? So,
makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated.
it's a lot of
to
sacrifice that goes
serving
into it, and not to to not be able to reap the reward of preparation.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. We'll recap LSU Auburn, Saints Texans. We'll hear from Brian Kelly. Join us for Monday's AFR, 3 to 6, 1045 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. I want to play some Alvin Kamara sound. Groupie tied for the third most attempts in the league, Greg's saying. Somebody pointed out that Lutz is 8 of 9. Patrick Vaughn says Groupie makes 3 field goals. Saints are probably 5-1. He's not. Look, this is the unfair part to Groupie is, again, it's not the problem. Like, he didn't blow the 17-0 lead. He's not the reason why the team can't finish in the red zone. But that's just the life of a kicker. You have to be perfect. And when you're a rookie and somebody gives you a chance and then you start to struggle in this way, it's going to loom very large. But, again, I don't want to make this about Groupie because this is more about the offensive line being horrible. It's more about Derek Carr and the offense just falling apart in the red zone. And look, the players are very clear after the game. This ain't on the coaches. Mike Thomas, what exactly did Mike Thomas say? I have it written down. Let me find it on my notes. Oh, crap. Where'd I put my notes here? What window are you in? Where are you hiding out at, you sons of guns? There you go. When asked if there was too much miscommunication on the field Sunday, oh, wait. I accidentally copy-pasted the wrong thing. It's a Chris Olave quote. Here is Alvin Kamara talking after the game about preparing for Sunday.
I don't know what the issue is, but I will say I think DeMario said it best in the when we came in the locker room. I don't know what a lot of guys are doing. I don't know what anybody but me is doing, right, preparation-wise. But to play this game at the level that we want to play it, it takes a lot of sacrifice. And I know personally I sacrifice a lot. Personally, family time, personal time. During this time, you can't do everything you want to do, right? So, it's a lot of sacrifice that goes into it, and to not be able to reap the reward of preparation. It's annoying. I don't like it. It's not a fun feeling. And again, I'll circle back to what DeMario said. I don't know what everybody else is doing to prepare, but there's a certain type of sacrifice that you have to make to be able to come out here and to play at a certain level, at an elite level. So I just hope everybody's doing that. We just need to find a way to win.
Read between the lines for us there, Jake.
That means that there is players that he sees leaving the building early.
Yeah.
He sees players getting there right before meetings. That's what that tells me.
Yeah.
That tells me he knows what he's doing. He knows what some of the other veteran players on this team are doing. And there's some guys, be young or old, that aren't doing those things. That's what that answer said, without having to call people by names. Because the people that are doing those things, they hear that, right? And they know he's talking directly to them. Look, if the meeting starts at 8 and you're pulling into the parking lot at 7:50, it's not acceptable in the NFL. If practice ends at 5 and you're in your car at 5:01, you're not doing the things you have to do to win in the NFL. You'd be like, well, what do you mean? I mean, you're there on time. Okay, it takes so much more than just being there when you're supposed to be there. I have seen guys be incredible athletes, first-round picks, second-round picks, whatever, and be in the league for 3 years because they were doing the things that I'm talking about. They kind of knew what they were doing, but they didn't know what everybody else was doing. And at the NFL level, you can't succeed doing that. At the college level, if I know what I'm doing, I could probably get by doing that because I know my job. In the NFL, you've got to know what every single person basically is doing because I've got to know, well, why is the tackle patting his hip? Like, what's he telling me? Okay, well, why is he doing that? Not just, okay, when he pats his hip, I got to do this. No, I got to know when he does this, this is where he's going. This is where I have to fit. Here's what the running back has to do off of that. You have to understand everything about it. And you're always learning in the NFL. It's never stagnant. It's never, oh, I got it. I'm good. Oh, we're going over this install again? Man, I've been here for like 6 years, man. What are we doing? You always have to learn. It's one of the things I appreciated playing with Peyton Manning. He was always learning, and he was always trying to be better. He was always trying to get an advantage. He was always trying to learn something he did not know the day before. And he also challenged us every single day. Every day he challenged us. It didn't matter what we were doing. If we were out there doing two-man route combinations, it didn't matter if you were me, Jacob Tamme, Brandon Stokely, Demaryius Thomas, Eric Decker, Wes Welker, Noshawn Moreno. Did not matter who you were. He was going to challenge you, and he wanted you to mess up because he wanted you to never go out there and not know what to do, because he didn't want to go out on the football field and not be able to do what he wanted to do, and you had to know what you were doing for him to have that ability. So he challenged you every single day. It didn't matter who you were. He was going to call you out. He had the clicker in his hand on Monday mornings, right? We're coming film review. He's got a legal pad in front of him with all the MAs, missed assignments, and he'd go through the play. And it didn't matter, again, if you were 15. Brandon Stokely was like 15 years in the league at this time. And if Stoke had an MA and he didn't say, hey, it's my bad, I should have run this route in this coverage, Peyton Manning was calling you out.
And that's what the Saints need right now, man. They gotta get together fast. They cannot afford to keep dropping these games, or they should win. More OTB, close out an hour next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
We have truckloads of inventory rolling in at Corbell Toyota in Opelousas. And you can take advantage of 3.99% financing on select 2023 models. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corbell Toyota in Opelousas. Happy Town, USA.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
It was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Join me for a Football Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, presented by Corks, Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp. Preston Guy talking Tigers, and Katie George from ESPN on LSU and Auburn. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
I apologize. It blew the skies. This is a Les Miles segment here. Awful clock management. We're having so much fun in winters. We let it go entirely too long. We were behind the clock the entire time. And then, we had to talk about this Saints game, which is going to put you in a bad mood anyway. But maybe this will help. Brock Wilt says Dennis Allen is now 18-41 as a head coach.
Tight.
And then I thought this was actually a pretty good point by Patrick Vines. I'm just sad that we are losing to teams that did decide to restart and have young guys and new coaches like LaFleur and Ryans. And yeah, that's a pretty fair point, right? Because you tried to keep the status quo. You tried to extend the Peyton era. And, even though there's been good this year, at the end of the day, it's feeling a lot like a 7-10 year. It's feeling a lot like you might end up just where you were at last season once again. And it's like how we used to make fun of Oklahoma and preventables. You have nothing to fall back on. Well, what do you have to fall back on in Dennis Allen's resume that's going to make you feel like they're going to get it fixed or he's going to make this happen?
And what do you have to fall back on Dennis Allen and Derek Carr's time together?
Yeah, exactly.
It just feels like, and it's not just a feel, it's fact. You have too much talent to be showing like you're showing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's
you
what
have too much talent. You have too many good players, veteran players that want to be better, that are trying to call people out. Listen to them.
Hour number 3 of OTB coming up next at Spread Lines. Keep it locked.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done, or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
Bayou Ford is taking $10,000 off MSRP on select new 23 Ford F-150 trucks. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Scoocha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
His name was Cain. He had a horse along
Good morning. It is 9 a.m. on Monday, October 16th. In Baton Rouge, expect clear skies with a high of 71. Coming up on OTB hour number 3, Hold the Mayo and Right, Wrong, and Indifferent. You can follow the show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN or watch on the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. OTB OT, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's going on? Welcome back. OTB hour number 3.
That's right.
Right now, it's time for a little right, wrong, or indifferent. You know, that's okay. We don't need it. That's fine. Right, wrong, or indifferent. We look at the weekend. What'd you get right? What'd you get wrong? And what's kind of in the middle, I suppose. I'll start with what we just talked about. I was wrong about Derek Carr. Now, granted, like I said, offensive line remains an issue, yada, 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 everything we just said in hour number 2. But look, I thought that Derek Carr would be a marked step up from Andy Dalton. And even in the first couple of games, while he played like Andy Dalton for the first 55 minutes or the last 5, we're like, okay, this is the difference. Well, that difference was not there yesterday, and the final sequence was just god-awful. And so, yeah, I was, here's to hoping that somehow they can start to pull it off or take advantage. But, I feel very wrong on Derek Carr, and the Saints feel very wrong on Dennis Allen here on this Monday, October 16th.
Oh, yeah. I think I'd agree with you on that one. It doesn't feel great to say that out there and put that out there into the world, but I think it is factual right now. So, again, like you want to be like, oh, yeah, I could fall back on A, B, and C, but there's not an A, B, and C that you feel good about falling back on.
No.
So, I was wrong about Oregon's defense being the difference. Not that they played bad, but Washington's offense is inevitable.
Shoo.
They are inevitable.
Right.
I don't know that it matters what defense. I mean, Oregon was number 6 in total defense in the country, and Michael Penix still went out there and did what he did. I thought it would be the small margin of difference in this game. And this game, God, I love that it lived up to the hype. That is 2 weeks in a row. We got Red River 2 weeks ago. You got this game. The game of the week, the one flashing up there on the marquee tee, has been the game of the week.
True.
And has lived up to it.
True.
And those are always so much better when that happens. And, I mean, you go Notre Dame, Ohio State, go back a couple of weeks. Like, the marquee game of the week has been just that. But still, Oregon's defense, I thought they would be the difference. Michael Penix said, not so fast, my friend. And he went out there and diced them up. They made plays, but Michael Penix, he made more. I was wrong there.
Yeah, Aaron Murray comparing Washington to 2019 LSU, and I don't hate the comp. 3 truly elite receivers. I mean, remember, you didn't even have McMillan playing in this game. He tried to come back, couldn't come back. So 3 truly elite receivers, an incredible Heisman candidate quarterback, and then a defense that's pretty good. Right, like that.
And a running back in Dylan Johnson, that's a good player.
Am I crazy, or does he have a weird running style where he looks like he's about to fall over the entire time? Like every cut, he's like, oh, like he almost looks unathletic, but he's not, because obviously he's like making these plays. But his cuts all feel like it's an 18-wheeler trying to turn and like coming up on 2 wheels. It's just an odd style.
No, I noticed that too. He also looks like he's
like deuce and a quarter, like he's just
exactly.
He's also one of those guys that like looks like he's moving slower than he is.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Like, oh, there's no way he's gonna outrun that linebacker, and you're like, oh, he got to the corner, he outran him, but like he doesn't look fast, but he is.
I was very confused by watching Dylan Johnson play. He ended with like 20 for 100. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he had 20 for right at 100, and look, he was a pretty good running back his entire time at Mississippi State. I mean, 225 on only 51 carries as a freshman, 485 his sophomore year for 5.4 yards a pop. Last year, 5.5 yards a pop, 89 for 488. This year already has 340, 5.6 yards a carry. Pretty good running back. And so to your point, like they've got guys on every level of the offense, and their defense does enough. I think they're like 60th. In the country to be able to go out there and win games like they did against Oregon.
All right, boys, you got anything that you were wrong about this weekend?
Yeah, I was wrong about Louisville. I mean, I put them in the pontoon parlay. I really thought that, the tough wins that they had early this year, that was really going to kind of catapult them. And Pitt was not supposed to be a team that was able to compete with them, but they lose, and they lose by double digits to a bad Pitt team. Louisville, we were looking at them, we were like, okay, they look really good. Can they make that step? Can they do it? Clearly not. Clearly they're not that team, and they're not ready yet, so I was wrong about Louisville.
Again, 3 losses in a row when they've reached the top 15 for Louisville now. It's crazy. Great. You got anything?
I do, actually. I was wrong about the Saints O-line, and I know I didn't expect the Saints O-line to be good. I'm not delusional. I'm not somebody who's going into the season telling everybody they were crazy for being worried about that. But I thought with skill positions being healthy, being the strongest they've been in a long time, new quarterback contract, new season, I thought that with guys like Ramchick and McCoy, who we know can be solid, can be very good, and bringing in, Penning, who I'd hoped would develop a bit, I thought they could be, below average. I thought they could be a below average O-line, which is all I thought we really needed to have enough on offense. But I mean, they're one of the worst O-lines in the league.
They're awful.
I didn't see that coming.
No, it's a good call, man. And they're kind of like the LSU defense, right? In that we just need you to be average. If you could just be average or even below average, well, that's very good in the context of what this team could be. I have no other place to mention this on today's show, so I'll also say I was wrong about A&M. I had them going on the road and winning in Neyland, and I should have known, first off, not to trust Jimbo Fisher on the road. This is a little unfair, but if you remove the 4, okay, you know what? Don't remove the 4-1. In 2020, during the COVID year, Jimbo went 4-1 on the road. Keep that in there. 7-15 overall on the road during his time at A&M. 7-15. So really 3-14. Shout out to Emil. He's the one who sent me all these numbers.
Emil stays locked with those Aggie stats. I love it.
Trust me, it goes deep. They score less than 55% of the time at A&M. They never play good on the road in terms of offense. It's and here's what I wanted to read. This comes from Greg Tepper on Twitter. Texas A&M's last 24 second-half drives. Second-half drives. Their last 24, excluding like end-of-the-game kneel downs, etc. Punt, fumble, punt, touchdown, interception, field goal, fumble, punt, missed field goal, fumble, interception, punt, missed field goal, safety, field goal, punt, field goal, missed field goal, pick. Ooh. Good God. That is a recipe for madness if you're a Texas A&M fan. That's awful.
Yeah, that is not great.
What'd you get right this weekend?
The Detroit Lions are a hell of a football team.
Yeah.
And I think that's, look, I was obviously very high on them because of the Dan Campbell, the too gritty to be pretty and tough, mean, nasty. And I loved watching them on Hard Knocks. And last year they fought like hell, and they almost did it, right? And this year coming into it, a lot of people are like, that guy can't work as an NFL head coach. You can't have that shtick. Like, you can have him for a season. I'm like, no, his players, they would do anything for this man.
Yeah.
Right? And when you have the ear of your team like that, it goes so long. And the culture in that building, you talk to Kelvin Shepard, who's the coach there. Everybody is on the same page there. Mm-hmm. They're aligned. And we talk about that in college football. We don't talk about it enough in the NFL. And you look up, and Detroit is a 5-1 football team. That includes wins at Kansas City, at Green Bay, at Tampa Bay. The only one that you've lost is Seattle, and you were in that game. It was a 37-31 loss there, but you were 5-1 on the year. And, I mean, the Chiefs win. Like, at the time, everybody's like, oh, okay, well, they got lucky on opening night. No, this Detroit Lions team is going to be there. They've got everything you need to be great. And they've got it right when they picked Jack Campbell in the first round and Sam Laporte in the second round, the Iowa combination there. A lot of people, I was at the draft, a lot of people were, what are they doing here? Well, those players fit right into the culture of what they're trying to do, and they've played really well as their rookie seasons continue. And Brian Branch, another second-round pick from Alabama. Jahmyr Gibbs has been hurt, but, I mean, he's been good when he's been in there.
Yeah, and the 3-1. The Seahawks lost. I mean, that's a good Seahawks team.
Yeah.
It's not a bad team either. All right, boys, were we all right?
I'm right on Devin Leary. Devin Leary's not a good quarterback. He did it again this weekend. Look, he goes 14 of 27.
That's your boy, Jake.
He goes 14 of 27, so a hair over 50%, 120, 2 touchdowns, 2 more turnovers, though. The offense, once again, did not look good. So let's go look at Devin Leary's stats on the year. 54% completion percentage, 1,300 yards, 14 touchdowns, now 7 picks.
Yeah.
And look, his career numbers, that drops him 59% overall for his career completion percentage. I'm done on Devin Leary. I mean, I don't know what else we need to see. He cannot play quarterback in the SEC.
Mark Poops. He's back.
He's not Eli Drink Piss anymore, though.
Nope. He's Eli Drink Whiz because he's so smart. Whiz kid.
Well, Whiz is still.
He's Eli Drink Riz because word on the street is he has the best personality.
He's incredible.
I'm saying next level Riz had a drink. Grant, where'd you get right this weekend?
I think I just confirmed a bit with C.J. Stroud and the Texans. I don't want to dance on the Saints' grave. Obviously, that still got me hung up a bit. But last time I produced for the show, it was the day after the first round, and I said how well I thought it went getting C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson for the Texans. Mm-hmm. And I think C.J. Stroud's played even better than I could have thought at the time. Looks clearly like the best quarterback in his class.
Grant, you're a Texans fan?
No. I'm a Saints fan. But I like the Texans. They're like,
look, Houston and Louisiana have a bit of a connection, okay? Yeah. That is undeniable. Look at the Astros, everything else.
Hey, you worry about your cowgirl showing up
that's
tonight,
what I'm saying.
Taylor,
like, I get crap for being a Cowboys fan. I was like, oh, you're a Texans fan. That's cool. Like,
well, the only reason I'm not making fun. The only reason I'm not
a friend. Yeah.
The only reason I'm not making fun of Grant for being a cuck is because he's doing a good job here and he's working hard on this Monday. Though that is the exact thing that we clowned Mario for last Monday.
He gave Jordan.
I got to fill in. I'm filling the Mario role.
Okay. There we go.
They're way nicer to you about that than Mario. So
but look, he's right. He leaned into it there. I like that. Okay, indifferent. I'm indifferent on Dan Lanning's decision making in the Oregon game.
Yeah.
I know people hate it. And I'm not going to tell you you're wrong because ultimately results are all that matter, I suppose. But I want to view, okay, do I agree with the decision when it's made? I agreed every time he went for it. I complained hard when Brian Kelly didn't do what I call the Pat Mahomes principle, right? To keep the ball, go for it on fourth down if you're at midfield, whatever. It's an awesome offense. I don't care what the form your defense is in. It's an awesome offense. Keep the ball, go win the game. Going for it before half. Should you have kicked it? Again, maybe. But Oregon has gained at least 3 yards on 70% of their plays this season. And they just couldn't do it on the 3 4th and 3s. And honestly, look, it doesn't get a 4th and 3 on the goal line before half. If Bo Nix hits that screen pass on third down, like he buries the throw. So I know it didn't work out for Lanning, and he's putting the loss on him, and everybody is, and that's fair. I really like. I agree with his choices. They didn't work out, but I like that style of winning football from Lanning.
I agree with you there. Indifferent for me, UGA. I'm still indifferent on them.
Yeah.
And I realize I know who they are, and I know what they're capable of being. But, man, I mean, I watched the Vanderbilt game, and Vanderbilt's making multiple plays, and Vanderbilt's been horrible this year. I mean, Vanderbilt I thought they'd be better, but they have not been better. And UGA it's like they can't put a team away. Like, they got hyped for Kentucky because Kentucky came in undefeated, and they did it there. But, like, you got to get up for some of these games. And, you still have games on Ole Miss and Tennessee on your schedule. Like, they could get a little hairy. And I think you have to be perfect with your schedule and what everybody else is doing around the country. I know you've earned the benefit of the doubt, but I'm not sure that you're going to get it because of how bad your schedule is. So if you have one slip up, that might be enough not to get back into the CFP, depending on what others around you do, just because your schedule's so bad. And so, like, I'm only indifferent because of what I think you can do and what you're capable of doing, but I haven't seen it yet.
I don't think they're capable of winning Natty. I still continue to believe that. And all I need them to do is beat Ole Miss. If UJ loses to Ole Miss, we are going to sanction a raid on Athens and burn it to the ground.
Oh, Aaron Murray's suspended for a week from snaps. I'll fill in for him.
Yeah.
You don't even have to pay me. He's out of snaps for a week.
I agree. I also agree that if you're not feeling well, you can feel it a little bit going around right now, colds, flus, whatever else, stomach aches. I don't know. Look, you're not feeling good, man. You want to get in, get better for life's unexpected moments. You, the kids, whoever, you want Patient Plus urgent care. PatientPlusUC.com for life's unexpected moments. Like I told you, you get in, you sign up with that digital profile system. You can sign in online, schedule online, but walk-ins are always welcome as well. And once you have your profile made, it's literally just a couple of tippy taps on the iPad. When you walk in, you sit down, bang, you're in, get your medicine, get home. And remember about the brand new Patient Plus membership program. $20 a month, 10% off if you buy the entire year up front. And if you go twice, you're already coming out ahead and you get unlimited visits, steroid shots, COVID, cold, flu, whatever. Patient Plus Urgent Care, keeping you and your family safe. They are the best. PatientPlusUC.com. Ask about the membership next time you go in. Yeah. Okay, boys, any indifferent from y'all?
I'm indifferent on Tennessee still. I mean, you look at their record, they're 5-1, but they're really not playing well. They do not have a good quarterback. I think we can all go ahead and agree on that one now. Joe Milton, 11 of 22, 100 yards. He can throw it a country mile. He can't hit the barn, though. He's just terribly inaccurate. It's a little bit like Georgia. It's like they're playing teams that they should beat by a lot, and they're struggling with them. You could say, well, they had a big win over A&M. Is A&M a big win? I mean, we don't know how good A&M is. I'm still indifferent on how good of a football team Tennessee is.
I don't think Tennessee is very good this year, but I think this year Tennessee was never going to threat for championships. I think if they can prove to be second best in the East when it's all said and done, and they can win 10 games, like Tennessee going from who they've been for a decade and a half to then that would actually be massive. Yes. And they have Imaleva coming down the tracks. They're paying him the $8 million, a 5-star and everything. So, like, Tennessee's doing just enough right now. All right, let's go to break. And when we get back, let's get a little spread lines. Our guy, Hold the Mayo. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
OTB, OT.
Yo, shout out to all the homies starting to pick up the Noel Family Distillery Spirits straight out of Dawsonville, Louisiana. Natalie and Chip Noel have crafted some exquisite tasting spirits. So your vodka, your pickle vodka, your tequila, both the Blanco and Reposado varietals. How about the rum made from Louisiana sugarcane or the rum aged in tequila barrels? Very complex, very interesting. For whiskey and wine, we're off the mezcal and we're on to Noel Blanco Tequila. Next time you go to the bar, you ask for Noel. You go to the grocery store, you ask for Noel. Stop supporting the Longhorns in Austin and buy from the boot the official tequila of LSU Athletics, Noel Family Distillery.
Hey, it was all in Tiger Stadium over the weekend.
Hell yeah.
T-Bob, a lot of people were enjoying it, and you can as well. Like every time you go into Tiger Stadium, it is right there. They are, right, official partner with LSU. And why would you not partner with them? Check them out online, noeldistillery.com, noeldistillery.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Career options with engaging STEM-based demonstrations showcasing Focus Choice schools. Details at ebrfocus.org or 225-922-5472.
Cut through the static and listen to 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge in high definition. Simply tune to 98.1 and select HD2.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. We'll recap LSU Auburn, Saints Texans. We'll hear from Brian Kelly. Join us for Monday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. And right now it's time to travel over to the Paris to Spread Quarters. Talk a little Saints. Their guy, Dem Snow, a.k.a. Hold the Mayo. We do it every Monday. This is Spread Lines, hcmsports.com/shop. If you want to pick up some of that Dev merch. Dev, what's up, brother? What's going on, man?
Not a lot, man. Just, trying to come to terms with it sucks, bro, because everything's so fun until you get to Sunday. So I'm just trying to come to terms with I'll be over it here in a few hours. But, another game that hurts, another game that hurts.
Yeah, at least we avoided the dreaded double dip of a couple weeks ago where both LSU and the Saints were garbage. Like, LSU gave you a fun Saturday night. It was a fun Saturday of football in general. But I'll be damned if this Saints doesn't do a pretty incredible job of trying to make football look as boring and as frustrating as possible come Sunday. Dev, this offense is garbage.
Yeah, and make it look difficult too. Way more difficult than what it. That's my main takeaway, bro. I just feel like, I heard y'all talking about it earlier. The talent's 1,000,000,000% there, and for whatever reason, bro, it's like you just want to run from an identity. It's like when you were a kid in the cafeteria. You saw your crush. She's sitting there eating a hamburger in the cafeteria, and you want to go sit by her because you were scared. Well, the Saints are the same way with like an identity. They start to get one, and then they start running away from it. It's like no identity. Dude, it's the same thing as last year, bro. No identity. It's weak, whatever, and we still don't know, like, what can we leave a game with and say, hey, man, if we do this the whole game, bro, we win the game. We don't have it.
Dev, what's realistic though? Like, where do you think the Saints team can go to? Like, do you think that they can improve? Because I just don't know with this offensive line and some of the offensive play calling decisions. I don't know that I can get them into the postseason, and it's a shame, man. With all this talent that they have and the games that they've won, it's like you see it in flashes, but it's not there enough.
Yeah, just too many like nostalgic Saints things happening, right? Zach Bond gets an interception, he fumbles. You should know right then and there. Yeah. Right then and there. Saints fans know what kind of game we about to get into, right? That was the first thing. Derek Carr's throwing it at spiders on the ground. We don't even know who he's throwing it to. He couldn't find nobody with a search warrant. Then he starts throwing it to the cotton candy guy. I'm serious, bro. I mean, Derek Carr's leading receiver yesterday was the sideline. I mean, the sideline caught so many balls from Derek Carr, and it's just the brain cells, bro. It's not like clicking, whether it's the play calling, whether it's once Derek Carr gets the play, the brain cells ain't there, bro. Like, okay, it's third or fourth down, and you throwing the ball behind a scrimmage. Are we trying to make it harder to get a first down, or what, bro? Like, who likes to start 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage to try to make it a first down? It's just bozo, bro. It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
Well, and it kind of feels like now they're just stuck in a bit of purgatory, right? It's something that I've talked with Texas A&M about on the college level. Is they're not any good, but they're not bad enough. Well, maybe now though, but they didn't feel bad enough up to this point to justify spending like $73 million. It's like the Saints. Like, you're not awful. So you're not 0-6 like the Panthers, but at least the Panthers feel like, okay, well, you know what? We're going to get another number one pick. And then maybe Team Bryce Young up with someone like the Saints are going to be picking like 16th, 14th,
right?
Something like that. You got another show. You got nothing to fall back on from Dennis Allen's resume standpoint. Like, he has an awful resume. There's no reason to believe he'll get it fixed.
They're going to take a pass rusher from East Carolina.
Yeah, you'll probably take an O lineman or a pass rusher that ends up being a disappointment. And it is, you mentioned the sideline, Dev. It is insane to me. And Jake, I don't know if you have any insight here, but with the playmakers you have and having a veteran NFL quarterback, it is insane how allergic they feel to the middle of the field.
Yeah. It's like they only think they can use the hash of the sideline, like I said earlier. And that's throughout the game. It's in its totality. But at the end of the game, when you have the ability to stop the clock, and you just have like 4 of the worst play calls I've ever seen in a row. It was high school Harry, Deb. It was, hey, we got little Johnny out there that's better than their guy. Let's let him run a go route. We'll just throw it up, and little Johnny's going to go make a play. Like, it doesn't work like that in the NFL. And I know that you didn't have great protection, but that's on you as well. You got to do something. If you've got to put 2 backs in the backfield or a tight end and a back in the backfield and only have 3 guys out on the route, well, I'll be damned, but that's what it is. But it was just like they made no adjustments in those final 4 plays, and they had no thought process. It was just throw the ball up.
Yeah, it was disgusting, dude. It was like arena football. It was just like I couldn't come to terms with why they would. I mean, you got the timeout. And then also, bro, like, I just need to know, does Derek Carr know how to throw the slant, bro? I mean, because this is a veteran quarterback, like you said, bro. 10 years, right? Why are we not throwing the slant to Mike Thomas in these plays where you're throwing it behind the line of scrimmage, doing absolutely nothing? I mean, dude, just nothing. Throwing it behind the line of scrimmage. Dude, can we throw the slant? 3-step drop back, throw a slant, bro. You know, like, can Derek Carr do that? I don't know, man. I don't know this guy. It's like living with a new roommate. You know, you're trying to figure out the qualities of this. Does he cook and then not clean up? Does he do the dishes? You just don't know, bro. And I'm just trying to figure it out. And it's like, bro, can you throw a slant? How can you do a play action? You know, what's the deal with throwing it behind the line of scrimmage so much and out of bounds and over the receiver's head? I don't know, bro. It's just, you know, because then sometimes you'll see Derek Carr, bro, he'll make a great throw, like the throw to Shaheed for a touchdown. What a dart.
In the middle.
You know, and then it's like
field.
you don't see it again. Yeah, in the middle. Yeah, it's just like I'm taken back by it, and I really am.
Well, look, I mean, Derek Carr cooked, so you have to do the dishes. Which, by the way, that is the worst rule in the world. Just because you cook does not mean the other person has to do the dishes. Cooking is the fun part of dinner preparation. Dishes is the grunt work. Like, I'm not like if don't hit me with that. Don't cook. If I don't feel like doing the dishes, don't cook. Because I ain't gonna clean up after you just because you think that you got to have fun and relax and make some tasty food. I don't know how you feel about it, Dev. That's how I feel.
Oh no, I think that's more of like a 4-person or more family thing. If you're gonna cook and get somebody else to do the dishes, you better have a family in the house. Not like, hey, it's just you and like a partner. You know, like that's wrong.
I even think it's wrong on the family front. What I'm saying is like cooking is not the bad part. It is the cleanup afterwards. And when it always reminds you of that episode of South Park where that's what Randy does. Just leaves everything insane. And I cooked here and you got to clean. And then just dips out the house. No, awful.
I don't know if y'all took food and nutrition in high school, but you know that was one of the first rules was clean as you go, bro. You know what I'm saying? So
yes. I went to Evangel. We took football and Bible.
Yeah, football and Bible, exactly.
Okay. Amen.
No, I am a big clean as you go guy. Deb, how was the post game show yesterday? Probably popping off, huh?
Always. I mean, dude, when the Saints lose, bro, it's always. I hate to say it, it's just the best. You know,
I kind of feel that.
It's just nonstop emotions. You know, people are aggressive. It's that show is meant for when the Saints lose. You know, so we'll see, man. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm sure the Saints are gonna win on Thursday. You have no reason to believe they're gonna. Look, you gotta watch that miserable performance and then come right back but they'll probably win. But you have no reason to believe that they will. But they probably will win.
Who was public enemy number 1 in the postgame? I always like to see who the people's hated champ is.
Oh, it's Pete Carmichael. I mean, Pete Carmichael, you know, he could probably sue me for defamation at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like this, you know, that's all they talk about. Pete Carmichael, which is true, bro. I mean, this dude, I just feel like we got the talent and we going out of our way to make the talent less effective. If that makes sense. It's really something else, dude. Dude, that game, bro, like, even if the Saints would have tied it up, you know, they had no business winning that game. It was just a poor performance pretty much the whole way through. So I just question the brain cells in Derek Carr, bro. I don't question the talent, anything like that. I question the brain cells. It's just wild decisions.
I mean, the O-line does suck. That is at least the personnel thing that is screwing everything up. How do the people feel about group?
Okay, but you know,
go ahead.
Well, I'm going to say real quick. We see Derek every week. He keeps sliding up the pocket, right? And we remember, man, Drew used to do that all the time. And when Drew slid up in the pocket, you know, he was ready, bro. Like, his eyes were still on the field. They were still straight ahead, and he was ready to throw the ball. You really only got like a second or so maybe after you slide up like that. When Derek Carr slides up in the pocket, it's like he goes unconscious, and he forgets that the play's been going on for 3 or 4 seconds. And it's like a guaranteed sack at that point because, I mean, he's like restarting the play at that point. You can't do that, bro. Like, this dude loves to step up, go unconscious, and then get sacked. That's you know, I mean, we understand O-line bad.
We said it earlier, but like I thought he was at the level of quarterback where he could help lift up that O-line, but no, it doesn't appear. Like again, how do the people feel about Groupie right now?
Groupie, more like Loopy, because he's kicking like he's loaded, bro. I mean, dude, of course, you know the Saints got to set a record whenever some bad stuff happens. Groupie missed the shortest field goal by any field goal kicker in NFL yesterday.
Oh,
so,
no way. That 29-yarder, that's the shortest yet on the season? Oh, there you go. Great.
How?
Great.
Like, how do you – I don't know, man. This is the one week where I could say, man, like I saw better college football. I watched college football this Saturday. I saw better, cleaner college football than I did watching that Saints game. I mean, the college athletes were executing way better, bro. I mean, that was just a lack of execution as a lack of care. The Texans wanted it more.
I know.
The Texans wanted it more.
It felt like they had so much more positive energy on their sidelines and just everything. Like they just got a momentum right now. And it's all fresh, like Patrick Vines in the chat said earlier, right? It sucks to lose to these teams that did choose to restart with LaFleur and Love and the Texans and C.J. Stroud and everything else. It's just, you've tried to hold on to this Peyton era, and it looks like
so
it's
many people made
collapsing.
the quarterbacks that you were playing and the ones you avoided in the offseason, right? Kind of like kind of hand waved who you were playing, and you take a look at it, and you've lost to Jordan Love, you've lost to Baker Mayfield, and you've lost to C.J. Stroud.
Ugh. Landon Lambert, rumor has it that Blake Poopy, Derek Carr, and Pete Carmichael are off the beans. Yeah, I would say that's confirmed.
Were they ever on the beans?
They off the beans. Nah, I don't know.
Carr was on the beans the first two games when he came up with the big plays to win him in 5 minutes left, but no other time this year.
I mean, I think we kind of should have knew this was kind of coming when we saw Derek Carr's first thing he ate when he got down here was Chipotle. That's a curse down here. You can't do that. I mean, we saw enough guys go eat Chipotle when they first got down here, and it never works out good for them, bro.
It's fair. Dev, what we got going on today? We have any idea on RB&R Day yet?
No, I don't. But look at that, man. Last week I had no idea, and I wound up in Lacombe. Wow. So it's and what a beautiful place. I mean, nothing out there, just a bunch of trees, but and churches. But I mean, it was fun, man. I think that's what I like right now, bro. I just want to put somebody that's really foreign to what I'm used to, and just kind of go from that. It's kind of like how Bourdain used to do it, bro. They used to put him, think about all them places Bourdain went, bro. Like he never knew nothing about that stuff, and he just got put there, and it was great content.
No reservations was awesome. Also, you just described like a vast majority of Louisiana, just trees and churches. It's pretty much all the 318.
Whoa.
What? That's not true?
No, we got.
Where's the lie?
We got Shreveport. We got Alexandria.
Tractors. They got tractor shops.
A lot of tractors.
Tractor. Yeah, they're just right.
A lot of livestock.
A lot of heavy equipment shops for sure.
A lot of oil and gas.
Yeah, you
see some old derricks.
Right.
Yeah.
For your tractor, gas for your tractor,
yeah.
And then you could buy an RV. Dude, you could literally live in an RV. Get the word of God, and also have a really nice tractor out there, bro.
I'm pretty sure there's like a mega church in Shreveport called Word of God.
There you go.
So there you go.
Dev, thank you so much, man. HCMsports.com/shop. Thank you, brother. Check out Spread Quarters.
All right, y'all take care.
All right, later, bro. Jackson Miller, I know who's worse, Peyton in Denver or Carmichael in NOLA. True. But you're holding on to
that.
There.
Like, just imagine if Denver was like 5-1. So there, some silver lining at least. I mean, he's awful too.
Yeah. True. Exactly. It's not as like I was very upset. It's not slander. That's not 318 slander, guys. It's just a little joke. Everybody relax, okay? Again, if you drive through Manny a lot, it's impossible not to see all the trees and churches.
I mean, Manny's like yay big.
I know. That's true. All right, y'all. When we get back, more OTB. Keep it locked.
OTB. OT.
Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, All-Star Toyota for all of your vehicular needs. Maybe you just want to rent for a vacation or something. You're going somewhere. They got you, man. Miss Lee says it's going to get you right. And you got cheaper per day rental price than traditional rental companies. But look, the bottom line is, what if you need to purchase a new vehicle? And you go to the Toyota Certified Used Vehicle where you still get excellent warranty coverage. Or maybe you lease. Or maybe you just straight up buy something new. But the selection, the service, Everything is the best at All-Star. AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com is a great website where you can start to explore some of those deals. Go check it out today. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
Yeah, once you get on the website, remember to check out those rentals, and maybe you've got a trip coming up. Maybe going to Tuscaloosa in a couple of weeks to watch the Tigers play. Maybe you got something coming up for Thanksgiving break, and if you want to rent a vehicle, keep miles off your vehicle, maybe something bigger, better on gas, whatever it is, check them out today on the website, AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
I work from 9 to 5. Hey, hell, I pay the price. All I want is to be left alone in my average home. But why do I always feel like I'm in the twilight zone? And I always feel like somebody's watching me. And I have no problem.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Saturday, y'all. Welcome back, OTB. God, I don't know about y'all. I'm feeling a little sausage hungover from yesterday. I keep doing this thing on Sunday where I just goes buy a bunch of meat, and I just spend all day just eating meats, and it's not a good decision, especially because I'm eating like relatively clean for most of the week now. Mm-hmm. And then I'm just like stuffing my face with like pounds of ground beef and jalapeno cheddar sausage, which, my God, the Iverstein's jalapeno cheddar sausage is so unbelievably good. But I feel like I'm still just exuding sausage grease from every pore. And like my stomach still feels just a little just off. Can't explain it, but it tastes great going down that. It was incredible. And I'll probably do it again. It's the next thing again Sunday. Made for a bit of an uncomfortable nutcracker practice, though, to be sure. Not a good feeling when you're having to clench. I mean, I'm trying to clench my butt cheeks anyway. Like Tim was telling me yesterday to help with my posture and, remain straight back for my party dad role. But I was also clenching my cheeks for some other reasons as well.
And that is when? December what?
I don't know which performance yet. But it's a weekend of the 16th and 17th, I believe.
Okay.
And it's going to be awesome. Show's coming together great. We're going to get to meet Drosselmeyer finally next week. Of course, being kind of one of the stars of the show, Drosselmeyer not showing up for these early practices. Now coming in next week. Excited to meet him. I'm just really, really proud of the team, dude. It's cool. It's awesome. I mean, again, it is ridiculous how much I am loving and how much I look forward to Nutcracker practice every single Sunday. I love my fake kids. My fake wives are great as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just the whole team, man. Being a part of it, it's almost like I'm getting like locker room feelings once again.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
And even when, I love when it's my turn to get to go dance, but when it's the other groups and I'm just sitting there watching, I just have the biggest, dumbest smile on my face. Like, these kids are so talented. The real dancers are so talented all the way throughout. John, the director, is fantastic. I just love it. And, and I'm so happy to be a part of it.
Where's the performance going to be at?
River Center.
Oh,
downtown.
Oh, boy.
Well, yeah. Which they recently redid. I mean, I'm a big fan of the symphony, right? And
any stage fright?
And they just redid that.
I mean, I've never known you to have any
adrenaline.
Obviously.
It's for sure. I mean, pregame jitters, absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's that thing where, like, you're scared, and then once you get that first hit, you're good to go. So yeah,
am I going
to be a little nervous when I'm walking my family on the stage? Yeah, but
your work family.
If my homies, the kids, can do it, then I can do it too. Yeah. My
your actual blood children, have they shown up to the practices?
No, not allowed.
So the first time they're going to see it is going to be under the bright lights.
Yeah, for
nice.
sure. Yeah. No. They're not allowed to. I mean, look, man, it's time to work. Nobody can have just their stupid little kids running around, obviously, and only my fake kids.
Yeah, only
fake kids over real kids. But yeah, Parker, Elliot, Priya, Colette, Jorah Addison. I got a great fam. I got a really good fam for sure. Shout out Sarah and Laura's wife as well. Those are my wives and my, coincidentally.
So how do you have multiple wives?
Names of my wife's best friends in real life.
Is this like
everybody's double cast. Everybody's double cast. So basically, you do one team will do two of the performances one day, and then the other team will do the two performances the other day, and a mixture therein based on schedules.
I thought it was like a Big Love
else.
situation. I didn't know.
No. Only one wife on stage at a time, but you get both backstage and both husbands and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Jorge. He's my brother husband, and he's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's got one of the best laughs I've ever heard. God, I love it so much, dude. It's crazy. I get home and I just want to keep practicing. I go like tonight for my workout. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put on the main song that I have to practice my dance to. And I'm going to and I've been doing this a lot lately. I've been loving boxing. So I'm going to put the heavy bag in the middle of the garage. And during the parts of the song when I'm not dancing, I'm just acting, I'm hitting the bag, bop, 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 bop. And then once my dance starts, immediately into the dance, do that. And then back to hitting the bag and just keep it on repeat.
Head,
like
body,
40
head,
minutes
body.
straight. Head, body. Head, body. I'm telling you, pa. You don't want to see these tiny hands, bro. These things can fly.
Look, I am very excited because I will be in attendance and I will act like I'm supposed to act.
Yes.
There, but I'm very excited to show up and see you perform.
This ain't no game. What are the chances T-Bop's leotard pulls a Lenny Kravitz on stage? I don't get to wear a leotard, unfortunately, guys. Yeah. Smart move by Kravitz having the ring on, though, Get you a little extra. If you're going to wear pants that tight, see, that's what we were talking about fluffing up earlier. Lenny knew what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Smart man for sure.
For sure.
All right, I do want to remind you as well that we're going to be back right after this. More OTB. See you then.
OTB, OT.
CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. Plumbing's the best, man. Payne family's been at this thing for 50 years. And if you go see their facilities or their fleet, though I don't know why you wouldn't necessarily, but I have. And it's mind-blowing, man. It's so big, so vast, and everybody's licensed, bonded, insured. They have the flight repricing, the great warranty coverage. The only way that you stand the test time and grow, and the way they have it is because their customers trust them and they're consistently satisfied. So whether it's work or just a remodel, an upgrade, whatever, you want Central Plumbing, centralplumbing.org.
You certainly do. And it doesn't matter how big your remodel is. Doesn't matter if it's just one, bathroom in your home. They can handle all of that. It can be a complete remodel as well. Or maybe you just want a new vanity. Maybe you just want a new shower. Whatever it is, like they're going to come in and give you a consultation, tell you exactly what they can do for your space. They're going to help you upgrade that space. Check them out on the website, centralplumbing.org. Always call them at 225-925-8552.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back. OTB, wrapping up the show here with a little Ask the Bench. Brought to you by Cold Curse Life is here at Tilted Blue Moon Light Sky, Citrus, Wheat, Ask the Bench. Will next year's O-line be the best in LSU history?
Ooh.
It'll have a very good shot to be so.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about experience, talent, grittiness. Like, yeah, I mean, they've got everything that you want.
Yeah, and you're going to have 3 badass tackles. I'm guessing Emory would maybe make the move there.
Yeah.
Ask the bench, bigger what if Cecil Collins or Ryan Perrilloux didn't get cut?
Well, that's tough.
Probably Perrilloux because it threw you immediately into just having play quarterbacks before you're ready. And that offense with Perrillough would have been rolling in 08.
Yeah, I got a chance to see Cecil Collins on the sideline this weekend.
Hey, I do want to remind you look, we lost the pontoon parlay this weekend, okay? We apologize. Barely, but we're going to be back, and we're going to be back with our friends at DraftKings. DraftKings Sportsbook app, promo code Baton Rouge if you're signing up for the first time. $5 bet an NFL game gets you $200 in bonus bets instantly. And remember, for returning customers, excellent game day sweeteners throughout October. So big wins to be had no matter what. Remember to gamble responsibly, obviously, right? This is all for fun. Don't lose any money that you're actually reliant upon or anything. Think of it as the same way that you would, I don't know, just paying to go watch a movie or something of that sort. But DraftKings Sportsbook app, promo code Baton Rouge, bet $5 in a game, get $100 in bonus bets instantly. I will get you that disclaimer in a second. Must be 21 or older, physically present in Louisiana. Select pairs only. Bonus bet expires 168 hours after issuance. Eligibility and pot restricted supply terms. Sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms. Licensee partner Golden Nugget, Lake Charles. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER 1-426-2537. Ask the bench. I'm not seeing any questions, actually. Weird.
You on Top Chat?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Let me check. No, I'm online. Current line is Saints -1. Thoughts? Again, it's the NFL. I have no idea. The line yesterday was Saints -1. And I thought they were going to win because they were going against a rookie quarterback, and look what happened.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
I would not bet on the Saints.
I would not.
That's what I would say.
I
would not. Unless, again, you just want to.
I got one. This is an Ask T-Bob because we pretty much know what me and Jake's answers will be.
Mm-hmm.
Ask T-Bob who wins tonight, Cowboys, Chargers.
Cowboys. Home game. Chargers always find a way. Yeah, Cowboys.
Chargers. Are you kidding me? Cowgirls, get out of here with that crap.
But I'll tell you this. The Bolts are going to make it close. Okay?
Going to win.
Gonna make it close.
Kidding me? The Cowboys do the same thing, but worse than the Chargers.
They going to look like they going to win. That's for damn sure. Y'all love it. We'll see you tomorrow.
OT.
Accutemp Baton Rouge, AccutempBR.com, AccutempBR.com. Go there today for all your AC, heat, and electrical needs, man. Go look at the online reviews. They are fantastic. Got a 4.9 Google review rating with over 3,000 of them things, okay? And I don't really know any other way to explain it except to say put it to the test and get that service to the highest degree, and you're going to see why everybody keeps going back to Accutemp, AccutempBR.com.
Go to the website today, and, well, you can schedule that appointment right now. So maybe you're all at work, can't get to the phone, and you can go ahead, be in your cubicle, and schedule that appointment, and they're going to send you a profile of exactly who is coming into your home. So even if you're not there, maybe your spouse is at the house, you can feel comfortable and safe with them coming to the house because, again, you know exactly who that is, and they're with Accutemp, so you know exactly what kind of work you're going to get done. AccutempBR.com, AccutempBR.com.
The Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Scoocha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to